Chapter 1882. Brother Wang. The lazy expression on the young man's face disappeared and his aura suddenly changed. He released a powerful aura and laughed at the sky. In a flash, he stepped forward and closed in on Wang Lin. The moment he closed in, the young man's right hand formed a blade and he raised it. A dazzling, golden light erupted from the young man's right hand. The golden light turned into a golden blade that chopped down on Wang Lin. The blade seemed to contain the power to split open the heavens, causing colors to flash in the sky. The entire sky was filled with golden light, as if it were about to collapse. Furthermore, the immortal chi in the area was sucked toward the blade, as if it could devour the energy of heaven and earth in the area. This sudden scene caused the expressions of the cultivators that came with Wang Lin, including the middle-aged man, to change greatly. Without hesitation, they quickly retreated away from Wang Lin. Tang Jia's pupils shrank as she stared at the figure of the young man who had raised his right hand into the shape of a saber and slashed down. This figure rapidly overlapped with the lofty figure in her memory. If I don't activate the Heavenly Bull Soul Armor, I won't be able to resist this blade. This Tang Jia hadn't reached Void Tribulant yet, she was only at the 8th Arcane Tribulant. Once she passed the 9th Arcane Tribulant, she would truly reach the early stage of Void Tribulant. The old man sitting cross-legged under the bell also suddenly opened his eyes and looked over with rapt attention. This old man's cultivation was unfathomable, and the aura he gave off showed that he was at the mid-stage of Void Tribulant. He was very similar to the seven-colored celestial sovereign from back then. It was obvious he was at the peak of the mid-stage of Void Tribulant. Wang Lin's expression was neutral. When the young man's golden blade closed in and was less than 100 feet from him, Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly. He stared at the young man's eyes, which were hidden under the golden light, and suddenly raised his right hand and pointed. With that one finger, the entire world suddenly froze. It was as if a strange force had forcefully pressed down on them. It froze the world, froze the changes in the laws, froze the celestial spiritual energy that was being devoured by the golden blade, and froze the hand blade as well as the young man's movements. The golden blade chop, which was like a mountain collapsing, was broken by Wang Lin's point of finger. The moment the young man was frozen, Wang Lin's expression was still calm. He walked past the young man and stepped onto the square under the bell. This scene caused Tang Jia's mind to tremble. She suddenly turned to look at Wang Lin with a strange light in her eyes. As for the mid-stage Void Tribulant old man, he frowned and looked at Wang Lin. The stop spell only lasted for a moment and the young man recovered. He revealed a bitter smile as the golden light around him dissipated. He turned to look at Wang Lin with a complicated gaze and revealed a sincere smile. It has been many years since we last met. Brother Wang didn't disappoint me. I'm still not your match. This young man was the Gue Sex Unifeng. Can you change your unique way of greeting me in the future? Wang Lin frowned and looked at Unifeng. Unifeng's body flickered and he landed beside Wang Lin. He laughed. He was indeed very happy to see Wang Lin. Their time in the cave world was both enemies and friends. Every time Unifeng thought about it, he felt a bit melancholic. After all, the memories of the tens of thousands of years in the cave world occupied a large part of his life. Brother Wang, after I returned to the sect, I immediately used the power of the sect to find you, but unfortunately, I couldn't find you. I didn't expect you to suddenly appear in the Gue sect like this. I was so happy that my heart itched, so I naturally wanted to continue fighting you. As Unifeng spoke, he walked toward Wang Lin and opened his arms. His expression was very sincere. Wang Lin paused and looked at Unifeng. After pondering a bit, he also walked out and hugged Unifeng. Unifeng was very happy. He pulled Wang Lin to the side to continue talking. However, at this moment, a dignified voice suddenly rang out from the main hall in front of the square. Everyone is here. Unifeng stopped and looked at Wang Lin. His expression became serious and he respectfully stood there. The person who spoke is my Gue Sex sect master, late stage void tribulent. Yunifeng's voice echoed in Wang Lin's mind. He calmly looked at the hall that was like a giant beast. The three of you, report your names. The majestic voice slowly came out once more. Tang Jia's expression was serious as she softly said, Rest Life Sect, Tang Jia. Rogue Cultivator, Edge Cloud. The old man stood up and clasped his hands at the hall. Great Soul Sect, Wang Lin. Wang Lin slowly said as he looked around. He found that when the voice came out from the hall, it was completely sealed by an invisible restriction. As a result, no one outside could hear the voice. What shocked him even more was that the changes to the heavens and earth here were also disrupted by the restriction, making it impossible for him to deduce what was happening. This restriction wasn't released by just one person, but the entire whole Gue sect was gathered here. 3 of the 7 heavenly bull meridians have been destroyed and 3 messengers recognized by the heavenly bull have died. The 4 of you have guarded your respective heavenly bull meridians, which is a great merit. After the discussion between my sect and the Great Soul Sect, those who have contributed will be rewarded. The majestic voice gave off an ancient aura. It was obvious that this old ghost had lived for too long and had forgotten about the passage of time. Edge Cloud. The voice echoed. Here. The old man named Edge Cloud stepped forward. You have contributed by guarding the 4th meridian. I call you an elder of the Gue sect and grant you the Gue sect's treasure, the 5-element armor. As the majestic voice echoed, a ray of golden light flew out from the hall. It gave off the aura of a blade and sword that shrouded the square. The golden light stopped before Edge Cloud and turned into a set of golden armor. A terrifying pressure spread out toward Edge Cloud. Edge Cloud's expression was no longer calm and there was a hint of excitement. Thank you, Sect Master. Edge Cloud took a deep breath and clasped his hands at the hall. The moment he clasped his hands, the golden light turned into countless golden lines that entered Edge Cloud's body and disappeared. Tang Jia. The majestic voice echoed once more. You have contributed by guarding the 6th meridian. I'll allow your resting life sect to expand 3 times, recruit 3 times the number of disciples, and obtain 3 times the cultivation resources. I'll also grant you the Gue sect's treasure, the 5-element armor. A ray of blue light flew out from the main hall and turned into a sea of seawater. It swept out and enveloped Tang Jia's body. The seawater entered her body through her pores. Tang Jia's body trembled, and the tranquility in her body fluctuated. Thank you, Senior Sect Master. She bowed her head and respectfully said, Yunifeng. Yunifeng's expression became serious as he took a step forward and bowed deeply. You have contributed by guarding the 4th meridian. Because you already have my sect's 5-element armor, I'll teach you one of my 4 inherited spells and give you my sect's celestial treasure, the Spirit Slaughter Spike. As those words rang out, 2 rays of light flew out from the hall. One of them was a jade and the other was a black dagger. The dagger was very strange. It was only the size of a dagger, but it was shaped like a cone. There were 9 sharp thorns on it, and it gave off a terrifying aura. Thank you, Sect Master. Yunifeng was excited as he accepted the 2 items and bowed toward the hall once more. Wang Lin. The majestic voice echoed after a pause. Wang Lin's expression was calm as he looked at the hall and took a step forward. You have contributed by guarding the 3rd meridian. I'll grant you the 5-element armor. There was a flash of fire inside the hall and a sea of fire appeared. It burned in the air and turned into a suit of fire armor that shot toward Wang Lin. The rewards have been given. Next, I'll give you a top-secret mission. The voice came slowly. Yunifeng was startled. He opened his mouth to say something, but when he looked at the hall, he fell silent. Most of the 3 of them had received different missions, but only Wang Lin had received one. Yunifeng wasn't the only one who was confused. Tang Jia and Edge Cloud also looked at Wang Lin and noticed this. Edge Cloud's cultivation level was high and he had a gloomy personality. He wouldn't care about things that had nothing to do with him. After looking at Wang Lin, he withdrew his gaze. Tang Jia didn't have a good impression of Wang Lin, so she naturally wouldn't care about him. Your mission is... The voice echoed, but before it finished, there was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. Wait. Wang Lin stared at the hall and took 2 steps forward, interrupting the Gui sect master's words. The moment he spoke, Yunifeng's expression changed greatly, and he gave Wang Lin a look. Tang Jia's eyes narrowed and she looked at Wang Lin. She obviously didn't expect Wang Lin to dare to say something like this at a time like this. Even Edge Cloud turned to look at Wang Lin. Your mission is to go to the Green Devil continent, infiltrate the Green Devil temple, destroy the Green Devil statue, and seriously injure the Green Devil soul. Once completed, the 4 of you will have made a great contribution to the Heavenly Bull continent. The majestic voice completely ignored Wang Lin's words and slowly explained the top-secret mission. After these words came out, Edge Cloud's expression changed. Tang Jia was the same, and Yunifeng was the same. It was obvious this was the first time they had heard of this, and their expressions changed. Entering the Green Devil continent was too dangerous. If they were a bit careless, they would never be able to return. The Green Devil continent is a lot more empty now. As for the ancestors of the Green Devil continent, there will be people to hold them back. This is the mission. Now, Wang Lin, what do you have to say? The voice was very slow, as if there were very few things in the world that could make his voice fluctuate. Urgently seeking recommendation tickets. Chapter 1883. Junior doesn't understand why others received 2 rewards, but Wang only received 1 set of fire armor. Wang Lin wasn't polite at all. He wasn't alone, he was an elder of the Great Soul sect. As a result, he couldn't tolerate this. Even if it was the Gui sect master, he would still question him. Your cultivation level is the lowest, so 1 set of fire armor is enough. This is a reward decided after my sect and the Great Soul sect discussed it. You don't have to understand, but you must accept it. If you don't like the 5 elemental fire armor, then the old man will take it away. As the dignified voice rang out, the flame armor in the air immediately dissipated and turned back into a sea of fire that shot back toward the hall. Wang Lin looked at the hall and slowly said, "Since it is the result of the discussion, do you have proof?" After Wang Lin's words echoed, a ray of ghostly light flew out from the palace. There was a strand of white hair inside the ghostly light. The strand of white hair exploded and turned into a figure. This figure was Old Ancestor Green Bull. Since this is the reason for the reward, the old man won't change it. If Wang Lin doesn't comply quickly, then this can be used as proof. Wang Lin stared at Old Ancestor Green Bull. He knew that this was not Old Ancestor Green Bull's avatar, but a divine sense imprint. The proof has been given to you, step down. The cold voice of the Gui sect master came from the hall. Wang Lin's expression didn't change at all. If this matter was really the result of the discussion between the Great Soul sect and the Gui sect, then there was no need for Wang Lin to consider the agreement he had with Old Ancestor Green Bull for such an unfair matter. Amidst the silence, Wang Lin didn't speak again. He calmly stood there as if nothing had happened, and he didn't feel any heartache about the Gui sect master taking away the fire armor. The old man will now use a spell to activate the Gui sect's formation and send the 4 of you to the Green Devil continent. Before that, the 4 of you will leave behind a piece of your soul. With your soul pieces, the old man can teleport you back from the Green Devil continent after you complete your mission. Wang Lin's pupils shrank imperceptibly when he heard the word life soul. The advantage of such a thing was that he could be teleported back, but the disadvantage was that he would lose his freedom. His whereabouts would be in the enemy's grasp at any time. As a disciple of the Gui sect, Yunifeng didn't hesitate to touch his forehead with his right hand. His body trembled and a strand of soul force spread out. It turned into a soul ball and flew toward the hall. The old man, Edgecloud, hesitated a bit but also didn't refuse. He took out a piece of his soul piece and sent it into the hall. As for Tang Jia, she silently pondered for a bit and clenched her teeth. For the development of her sect, she was willing to pay anything, not to mention that this was how it should be. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been teleported back from the Green Devil continent. After the three of them sent out their soul pieces, only Wang Lin remained. Wang Lin silently pondered. After a long time, he looked at the hall and slowly said, "I refuse this matter. I'll return to the Great Soul Sect and see the old ancestor before making a decision. Goodbye." As Wang Lin spoke, he slowly retreated and was about to leave the square. "You can leave, but leave behind the soul armor." A majestic voice echoed from the hall and a giant, black hand formed by fog appeared. It covered the sky and reached toward Wang Lin. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes and hundreds of thoughts flashed through his mind. The sudden change made it difficult for him to analyze what was going on. The change in old ancestor Green Bull's attitude and the Gui sect's sudden move meant that something Wang Lin didn't know was happening. He even had a feeling that if he handed over the soul armor, it would be very difficult for him to leave the Gui sect. Without the soul armor, his cultivation level would increase greatly and he would be in an extremely dangerous situation. This feeling was very strong. In truth, Wang Lin didn't want to keep the soul armor for himself. His original plan was to complete old ancestor Green Bull's 3 conditions and repay the 3 gifts. Then he would leave the soul armor for the Heavenly Bull continent and leave by himself. After all, this thing didn't belong to him alone, it belonged to the entire Heavenly Bull continent. However, this strange change made Wang Lin even more vigilant. He didn't know what had happened in the Heavenly Bull continent while he was in the Extreme Sky Prairie. Under these unknown circumstances, he couldn't allow the soul armor to be taken away. With the soul armor, he had a sliver of power to protect himself, but without it, he felt like he was falling into a bottomless abyss. This matter began when I arrived at the Great Soul Sect. The other party was obviously unfair, and if I spoke up, I would have fallen into a trap. If I didn't speak up, they would still talk about the soul armor, forcing me to comply. In the end, today's matter is targeted at me. There is a problem here. The Gui sect knows my identity, knows that I came from the cave world, and knows about Xian Luo, but they still do this. Wang Lin didn't understand, but he didn't have time to think about it. Between giving up the armor to face the unknown or not giving up the armor, he didn't hesitate to choose the latter. The moment the giant hand closed in, Edgecloud, Tang Jia, and Yunifeng were all startled. The Heavenly Bull tattoo on the right side of Wang Lin's face gave off endless black light. The black light shrouded Wang Lin's body and turned into countless black strands that surrounded Wang Lin. The strands formed a black armor that covered his face. Only his white hair moved without any wind. The moment Wang Lin put on the armor, his cultivation level increased from the late stage of Spirit Void to the early stage of Void Turbulent. He raised his right hand and the War Spirit print turned into the 6-fingered devilish print. It collided with the giant black hand. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the square. The 6-fingered devilish print collapsed, but the black hand also trembled and half of it collapsed. However, some of it still landed on Wang Lin. Even with Wang Lin's current cultivation level, his face turned pale when the remaining black hand touched him. Blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth, and he was knocked back. Wang Lin has betrayed the Heavenly Bull continent. With the order to scatter his soul, any cultivator of the Heavenly Bull continent can kill him. Anyone who kills this person will be rewarded with the Fire Element armor, the Great Soul Sect's ghostly sail, and 1 Heavenly Bull bead. Wang Lin was knocked back. When he heard this, He clenched his teeth, and an unspeakable emotion appeared in his heart. He vaguely felt that these 3 items were originally meant for him. After he spoke, Edge Cloud's expression changed greatly, and he revealed a look of disbelief. Without hesitation, the heavenly bull tattoo on the right side of his face shined brightly and turned into threads that wrapped around his body. The heavenly bull soul armor that was exactly the same as Wang Lin's. His cultivation level increased greatly, and he broke through from the mid-stage of Void Turbulent to the late stage of Void Turbulent. In a flash, he chased after Wang Lin. The reason he did this was because of the Heavenly Bull Bead. The Heavenly Bull Bead was discovered by the Great Soul Sect and the Gue Sect countless years ago when they opened the 7 meridians of the Heavenly Bull. There were only 7 beads, and they contained many changes. They could be used as treasures and could change the flow of time inside. Cultivators could enter them to cultivate. However, this wasn't a big deal. The most important thing was that this bead could store the soul armor of the Heavenly Bull. This allowed the owner of the Heavenly Bull soul armor to be an independent existence. They wouldn't be unable to use the soul armor just because they were far away from the Heavenly Bull or the Heavenly Bull continent. With the Heavenly Bull bead, even on the immortal astral continent, even in the ancient clan, one could wear the soul armor. This was because this bead was equivalent to the soul of the Heavenly Bull. Wang Lin had never heard of the Heavenly Bull bead, or else he would have made a shocking discovery. This bead was very similar to something he had. Out of the 7 Heavenly Bull beads, the Gue sect had 3 and the Great Soul sect had 4. Over the countless years, the Gue sect had never taken them out as rewards. They were used to solidify the sect's formation and form a holy land for cultivators to cultivate for a long time. This holy land could only be formed perfectly when all 3 beads were gathered together. The sect that could take out 1 bead definitely couldn't be the Gue sect. It had to be the Great Soul sect that had 1 more bead. The Great Soul sect's ghost sail formation was the ultimate secret of the Great Soul sect. If one had the secondary flag, they could use it from very far away and still display great power. These 2 items were enough to make people go crazy. This was why Edge Cloud's eyes were bloodshot and he was chasing. Tang Jia's body trembled. After pondering for a few breaths of time, she clenched her teeth and black light surrounded her. The soul armor appeared and her cultivation level increased to the mid-stage of Void Turbulent. She chased after Wang Lin. Only Yunifeng remained silent. His expression was gloomy and he didn't chase. However, the moment Tang Jia charged out, he suddenly opened his mouth and sent a divine sense message to Tang Jia. Tang Jia, who had just risen into the air, heard Yunifeng's words and her body trembled. She suddenly looked back at Yunifeng. Is this true? Yunifeng looked at Tang Jia and nodded. Tang Jia had a complicated expression as she turned around and chased after Edge Cloud. However, her mentality was completely different from before. It wasn't until Tang Jia left that Yunifeng turned around and knelt down on one knee. Sect Master, you have to give Disciple an explanation. Disciple has already told Grand Empyrean Xian Luo about Wang Lin's identity and relationship. There was a moment of silence in the hall. After a very, very long time, a tired sigh was heard. Wang Lin quickly moved through the Gue sect with a gloomy expression. His divine sense spread out, but he soon noticed that something was wrong. The entire Gue sect was dead silent, and no one came to stop him. Even the Gue sect's formation seemed to have been closed. I don't have many recommendation votes, I need recommendation votes. Chapter 1884. This silence seemed to be specifically meant to let him leave. Wang Lin's pupils shrank. Everything had changed too suddenly, and there were many things he didn't understand. However, he didn't have time to think about it, so he turned into a ray of light and flew away. He moved as fast as he could toward the Gue sect. Thunderous rumbles echoed along the way. Behind Wang Lin, Edge Cloud's eyes revealed a strange light. With his late-stage void turbulent cultivation, he crossed endless distances and chased after Wang Lin. The two of them moved through the Gui sect one after the other. They soon crossed the Gui sect and exited the sect. The moment they exited, another ray of purple light flew out and the Gui sect returned to normal. Wang Lin flew out thousands of kilometers after leaving the Gui sect. It was not suitable to use spatial bending within thousands of kilometers of the Gui sect, especially with the activation of the formation, which would disrupt the aura of the world. Just as Wang Lin left the chaotic area and was about to use spatial bending to leave, Edge Cloud caught up. His expression was cold as he raised his right hand and formed a seal. The sky suddenly changed and 7 shining stars appeared in the blue sky. These 7 stars were like 7 stars in the night sky that shined brightly during the day. 7-star slaughter. There was a flash of coldness in Edge Cloud's eyes. In order to obtain the reward for killing Wang Lin, he had noticed that there was a problem with the Gui sect's attitude toward Wang Lin. However, he didn't care at all. All he wanted was for the Gui sect's sect master to issue the Soul One order for Wang Lin's betrayal. After taking Wang Lin's head, I can take it back to the Gui sect to exchange for the reward. Even if there is a problem, I'll pretend I don't see it. This way, I'll be following the order of the Gui sect's sect master. I believe the Great Soul sect won't be able to say anything. After all, Wang Lin betrayed them first, so I'm just killing him. Edge Cloud was a rogue cultivator, yet he was able to reach the mid-stage of Void Turbulent and obtain the recognition of the Heavenly Bull. He had the Heavenly Bull soul armor, so he had to be extraordinary. A thought flashed through his mind and he made a decision. The moment Fang Jingyun raised his right hand, the 7 stars in the blue sky shone brightly. It was as if the power of the world was gathering in the blue sky from all directions. In an instant, the 7 stars let out earth-shattering whistles, and as if they were falling, they suddenly descended from the endless sky. The howl seemed to be able to tear through the sky and form an indescribably powerful force. Ripples appeared under Wang Lin's feet. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly looked up and looked at the sky. In the blue sky, there were 7 meteor-like streaks of black light shooting toward him at an extremely fast speed. At the front of the black light was a fist-sized black meteor that was crazily flying toward him. Even from so far away, he could see that the meteor was the size of a fist. If he got closer, it would be extremely large. As Wang Lin's gaze swept by, the fist-sized meteor had already turned into the size of a washbasin and was rapidly expanding. From the looks of it, it would probably envelop everything within a 1,000-mile radius, turning everything within that 1,000-mile radius into ruins. Only Edge Cloud could do this after his cultivation level increased greatly with the help of the Heavenly Bull soul armor. More and more ripples appeared under Wang Lin's feet. His eyes lit up and he was about to use spatial bending to leave. Edge Cloud clearly didn't know about this spell, so no matter how strong it would be impossible for him to stop Wang Lin. However, just at this moment, a ray of purple light closed in from behind Edge Cloud. Tang Jia had a complicated expression as she stared at Wang Lin. She moved very fast and closed in on Edge Cloud in the blink of an eye. It looked like she was going to pass by Edge Cloud. Senior Edge Cloud, I only want the 5 elemental fire armor for Tang Jia's help. Tang Jia's soft voice echoed through the world. Before Edge Cloud could reply, Tang Jia was less than 1,000 feet away from him. Edge Cloud frowned, but he didn't say anything. However, Wang Lin suddenly stopped. In his eyes, he clearly saw something strange when Tang Jia closed in and got within 100 feet of Edge Cloud. What are you doing? Edge Cloud also noticed the abnormality. His eyes lit up and he waved his sleeve. As he retreated, a gust of black wind appeared around him and formed layers of protection. Tang Jia's eyes flashed with a golden light. She raised her jade-like hand and pointed forward. Immediately, 8 golden doors appeared around Edge Cloud. 8 gates seal. The 8 golden gates gave off endless golden light. After they appeared, they closed in on Edge Cloud. This sudden scene caused Wang Lin's eyes to narrow. In an extremely short period of time, many thoughts flashed through his mind. He no longer hesitated and gave up on leaving. Instead, he turned into a ray of light and charged toward Edge Cloud. Wang Lin's personality had always been like this. If others didn't provoke him, he wouldn't easily provoke others. However, since Edge Cloud wanted to kill him first, Wang Lin would immediately find an opportunity to counterattack. The moment he saw Tang Jia use the Golden Gates, he recognized why he was familiar with her. This was because the aura and feeling she gave off were extremely similar to the third concubine, Tang Shan. Connecting the dots, Wang Lin could tell that this woman had a deep connection to Tang Shan. All of this happened in an instant. While Side Cloud was caught off guard, 3 of the 7 stars in the sky suddenly lost control and disappeared into the sky. However, the remaining 4 continued to fly over. From the looks of it, it would not be long before they landed on the ground. As the 4 stars landed, a black flame burned on the meteorites. It was a shocking sight, and before they even landed, layers of heat waves rushed to the ground. A power that seemed to be able to reverse the heavens and earth appeared and shrouded the area. Ignoring the meteors falling from the sky, Wang Lin closed in on Edge Cloud, who was sealed by the 8 golden gates. He raised his right hand and waved his hand. However, heaven and earth roared, and the 7-colored spear appeared. Its color suddenly changed 3 times, and finally became the rainbow 3-color transformation technique, whistling straight toward Bian Yun. Shortly after, Wang Lin used his unparalleled casting speed to close in. His hand formed a seal and the 6-fingered demonic palm appeared and charged at Edge Cloud. If it was just these 2 spells, it wouldn't be enough to seriously injure Edge Cloud. Wang Lin clenched his teeth and his hands formed a seal. The moment he closed in, he pointed at the sky. Suddenly, the heavens and earth rumbled, and the earth turned into an ocean. The sky was pitch black, and in the distance, a blazing sun appeared. Sundered Night was used for the 2nd time by Wang Lin after he put on the soul armor. There was also Tang Jia. Since she had attacked, she didn't hesitate at all. Her hands formed a seal and a giant, golden whip appeared in the dark world shrouded by Sundered Night. The whip lashed at Edge Cloud with an aura that could collapse the sky. Her casting speed couldn't compare to Wang Lin's. After Wang Lin used 3 spells, she had only completed 1. Edge Cloud's expression changed greatly. He was sealed by the 8 gates. These 8 gates were Tang Jia's best spells, and she had used them with the power of a peak mid-stage void turbulent cultivator after she put on the soul armor. Killing intent flashed in Edge Cloud's eyes, and at this moment, he could no longer think about anything else. He spat out blood from the tip of his tongue. The blood turned into a blood mist that turned into countless ferocious, blood-colored ghosts that charged at the 8 gates. With a bang, the 8 gates collapsed. As soon as Bian Yun regained his mobility, he immediately had to face the incoming spear. He had no time to dodge, so he waved his sleeves and a palm-sized white shield appeared in front of him. With a flash of light, it collided with the spear. There was a thunderous rumble and the lance collapsed, but countless cracks appeared on the white shield. Before it collapsed, Wang Lin's 6-fingered devil print rapidly shrank until it was less than 100 feet wide and smashed into the small shield. The small white shield no longer had the slightest ability to resist. It directly shattered, allowing the palm print to land in front of Edge Cloud. Thunderous rumbles echoed and Edge Cloud's face immediately turned pale. As he was knocked back, he raised his right arm and pointed to between his eyebrows. He let out a roar at the sky. As he roared, the shadow of a heavenly bull appeared behind him and also roared. The ripples spread out and collapsed the 6-fingered devil print. However, Wang Lin used 3 spells in a row. The moment the devil print collapsed, Sundered Night enveloped the area. The sun in the sky raised its head and erupted with the power to tear the night apart. Faith! Faith spell. Edge Cloud was hit by the continuous attacks. Only now did he see what was inside the sun. He was filled with disbelief and quickly retreated. However, at the same time he retreated, Tang Jia's golden whip seemed to shine as brightly as the sun. With a swing, it tore through the darkness and charged toward Edge Cloud. It closed in an instant, and with a loud bang, it landed before Edge Cloud. Edge Cloud coughed out blood and was in a sorry state. He was knocked back once more, and the only thought in his mind was to get out of the range of this spell. However, he was still a step too late. That blazing sun rose up into the sky as its radiance radiated out in all directions with a tearing force. Once again, Nan Tianyun coughed out blood as his eyes turned bloodshot. He could sense the danger he was in and instantly made a decision in his heart. As he retreated, Edge Cloud suddenly stopped. He raised his hand and pressed it between his eyebrows. As his body leaned back, he mercilessly threw it forward. At the moment he swung his arm, an illusion of a heavenly bull that seemed to have raised its front hooves and wanted to blast open the sky with its horns appeared around Edge Cloud's body. The illusion let out a shocking roar and actually collided with the blazing sun in the sky. He still needed recommendation votes. There would be an explosion, but it didn't have to be in the double. Chapter 1885. The heavenly bull charged at the sun like crazy. After wearing the soul armor, Edge Cloud was extremely powerful, but at this moment, when the heavenly bull charged at the sun, Edge Cloud's cultivation decreased from late-stage void turbulent to mid-stage void turbulent. This ability was actually him temporarily giving up on the soul armor he was wearing and tossing it out, turning it into a true heavenly bull soul, using it to blast open the sky and earth. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. The heavenly bull's soul collided with the sun at an extremely fast speed, creating a thunderous rumble. As the rumble echoed, Wang Lin coughed out blood. The moment sundered night collapsed, he retreated thousands of feet. As for Edge Cloud, his body trembled and he seemed to age 1,000 years. He coughed out a mouthful of blood and quickly retreated. However, how could Wang Lin let him leave? At this moment, he ignored his injuries and charged toward the retreating Edge Cloud. He was going to kill Edge Cloud while his soul armor was out. Tang Jia silently pondered and didn't choose to attack. She had only helped on behalf of her sister. She looked at Wang Lin with a complicated gaze and then disappeared without hesitation. Wang Lin's face was filled with killing intent as he closed in on Edge Cloud. He raised his right hand and threw a punch at Edge Cloud. This punch contained ancient Tao power and the world changed colors. Thunderous rumbles echoed as Edge Cloud was knocked back and coughed out a large amount of blood. Wang Lin's body also trembled, but he clenched his teeth and charged out once more. The two of them collided several times, and Edge Cloud's eyes were filled with fear. It wasn't that he hadn't seen crazy people before, but this was the first time he had met someone like Wang Lin who only wanted to kill without caring about himself. Just as Wang Lin and Fang Yun continued their slaughter, a giant, black hand suddenly appeared in the Gui sect thousands of kilometers away and reached toward them. Wang Lin's expression sank and he gave up on killing. He retreated a few steps and ripples echoed under his feet. He disappeared and merged with the world. The black hand grabbed Edge Cloud and dragged him back into the whole Gui sect. The battle had only lasted for a short period of time. Only after Wang Lin left did the 4 meteors descend from the sky. They shot toward the ground, causing a huge boom to echo out. The area within 500 kilometers was filled with a cloud of dust. After a long moment, the cloud of dust dissipated, revealing a deep depression in the ground. The only thing that remained were the countless shattered black rocks, which emitted billowing black smoke. About 2 months of flight away there was a mountain range in the sky. Ripples spread out and Wang Lin stepped out. His face was pale, and he stood there silently for a long time. After a while, he raised his head and looked around with a bleak expression. "It is time to leave the Heavenly Bull continent." Wang Lin let out a sigh and looked at the earth below him. He was startled for a moment. He was familiar with this place. He had come here before. This was where the Seven Tao sect used to be. He had inadvertently teleported without a fixed direction, but he didn't expect to arrive here. Looking at the mountain range below, there was a black fog surrounding it. Wang Lin let out a sigh and turned into a ray of light. He flew through the fog toward the Seven Tao sect where he remembered coming from. Shortly after, on a mountain shrouded in fog, Wang Lin saw a group of palaces that gave off an ancient aura. In the square outside the palace, Wang Lin landed. The stones on the ground were damaged and covered in weeds. He sat there and looked at the Seven Tao sect. The bleakness in his heart was slowly replaced by warmth. In a sense, this was his home. Closing his eyes, Wang Lin sat there and adjusted his injuries. He had already put away the soul armor. In his weakened state, Wang Lin released the EC protector and began to slowly heal. In a flash, 3 days passed. 3 days later, Wang Lin opened his eyes and looked at the Seven Tao sect. He stood up. When he first came here, he only glanced around. Now that he was back for the second time, he walked through the Seven Tao sect with a complicated mood. He wanted to leave the Heavenly Bull continent, and he walked through the Seven Tao sect step by step. He walked past every building, every place where the disciples of the Seven Tao sect had lived before. Finally, he walked into the main hall of the Seven Tao sect. There was a huge throne inside the hall, and it obviously belonged to the seven-colored celestial sovereign. Looking at the silent hall, the ground, tables, and chairs were covered in dust. It gave off a sense of decline. After standing there and looking for a long time, Wang Lin closed his eyes. He felt the existence of the cave world and suddenly felt homesick. He missed the cave world and everyone there. He seemed to be able to vaguely see a peerlessly beautiful woman in the immortal dimension of the abode. Her long hair fluttered in the wind as she stood on a mountain. She raised her head and looked at the pitch-black sky as if she was looking for a pair of eyes in the sky. After a long time, Wang Lin opened his eyes and walked out of the hall. Standing in the Seven Tao sect where he was alone, Wang Lin's expression gradually became gloomy. He still had to face the cruel reality. A shocking change must have occurred in the Heavenly Bull continent during these few months. This change caused the Gue sect to change the reward they gave me. Or rather, they forced me to betray the Heavenly Bull sect. But they allowed me to leave. As for the Great Soul sect, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He vaguely felt like he had grasped something, but it wasn't clear. He quickly raised his right hand and opened his palm. A 3-inch little person appeared in his palm. After the little person appeared, it immediately knelt on his palm and bowed 3 times toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin was startled and clenched his palm. His divination seemed to be shrouded in fog and he couldn't see anything clearly. However, one sentence appeared in his heart. Since this is the reason for the reward, the old man will not change it. If Wang Lin doesn't comply quickly, this can be used as a reason to judge. This sentence was left behind by a strand of the young ancestor's divine sense for Wang Lin. It was passed on through the Gue sect master. He carefully pondered over these words. The soul I Tao only had this one sentence after the 3 bows. There had to be a meaning behind it. Wang Lin muttered it a few times before his body trembled violently. He looked up and his eyes shined brightly. Since this is the reason for the reward, the old man will not change it. If Wang Lin doesn't comply quickly, this can be used as a reason to judge. The last word of every sentence: change, speed, judge. The situation has changed, quickly betray. The situation has changed, betray. Wang Lin took a deep breath. No matter how he tried to explain it, there was only one meaning. Old Ancestor Green Bull was using this method to remind Wang Lin to quickly betray the Gue sect. Even with Old Ancestor Green Bull's cultivation level, he still needs to use this method to hint to me. He is worried that I won't be able to see through it and will negotiate with the Gui sect master to use unfair rewards to force me out of the Heavenly Bull continent. Betraying the Heavenly Bull continent means I can't stay here and must leave as soon as possible. Could it be that old ancestor Green Bull wants me to leave the Heavenly Bull continent as quickly as possible? Wang Lin silently pondered. He felt that there was a huge mystery in the Heavenly Bull continent. This mystery was the main reason why the Great Soul sect and the Gui sect had changed their attitude. Similarly, Wang Lin speculated that this mystery was likely related to the Green Devil continent. He had long suspected what the war between the two continents was for. Wang Lin had thought a lot, but all of this was just his analysis. He didn't know the real secret. After a while, Wang Lin looked into the distance and revealed a decisive gaze. Forget it, this place is a pool of muddy water. Since this matter has already happened, there is no point in thinking about it. It is time to leave the Heavenly Bull continent. However, I fear my departure won't be so simple. There might be obstructions along the way. If one of my speculations is correct, then most of them are from the Green Devil continent. Wang Lin murmured. Just as he was about to leave, his expression changed. He looked up at the black fog covering the mountain and disappeared without a trace. After Wang Lin disappeared, the fog churned and a figure flew in. This figure was very cautious and carefully observed the surroundings. After making sure no one was following him, he let out a sigh of relief and slowly landed on the square of the Seven Dao sect. Damn it, I ran into some trouble on the way here, so I'm a few days late. I hope I didn't delay the Patriarch's arrangements. The figure looked nervous. After landing, he looked around, found a corner, and was about to sit down cross-legged. However, just at this moment, a voice echoed across the square. Du Qing. This figure was Du Qing. When he heard someone call his name, he immediately flew into the air, and panic appeared on his face. However, that panic soon turned into joy. Fellow cultivator Wang Lin. He recognized Wang Lin's voice. Wang Lin frowned and his figure appeared. He looked at Du Qing, who he hadn't seen in a while, and suddenly spoke. Who told you to come? Elder Wang, it was the Great Soul sect's old ancestor Green Bull who found me. He told me to leave a few months earlier and arrive here 3 days ago to give you something. Du Qing quickly landed before Wang Lin. His right hand reached out and a black stone appeared in his hand. The stone looked very ordinary. Du Qing held it in his hand and tried to find some clues along the way. In the end, he didn't find anything. However, when he thought of old ancestor Azure Bull's serious expression, he faintly felt that this was a treasure. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he took the black stone. When he looked at it, his pupils shrank. He felt the aura of the soul I Dao from it. Chapter 1886. Holding the black stone, it was not a space stone. Wang Lin looked up at Du Qing and clasped his hands. Many thanks, Brother Du. Du Qing hurriedly shook his head, blinked his eyes, and whispered, "What's inside?" Wang Lin smiled and shook his head without answering. He looked at the sky and slowly said, "I won't say any more. Brother Du, if there is a chance in the future, we will meet again. Goodbye." With that, Wang Lin let out a sigh and stepped into the sky. His figure disappeared without a trace. Du Qing looked at Wang Lin's figure and vaguely understood something. He let out a sigh and shook his head. He was going to the Great Soul sect to tell old ancestor Green Bull that he had done what he had asked. Wang Lin merged with the world and left the Seven Dao sect. When he reappeared, he was in a desolate desert. This kind of desert was rare in the Heavenly Bull continent. At this moment, it was night and the cold wind blew through the desert. This wind was bone-chilling and could freeze mortals to death in the desert. However, cultivators like Gu Xiu could resist it. As for third-step cultivators like Wang Lin, this wind was very gentle. He was still holding the black stone in his hand. Wang Lin lowered his head and looked at the stone in his hand. He pondered and didn't know if he should open it or not. Although he didn't know what it was, the aura of the soul I Dao vaguely told Wang Lin the method to open it. A moment later, Wang Lin revealed a decisive gaze and opened his palm. The 3-inch person formed by the soul I Dao suddenly appeared next to the black stone and fused with it. A cracking sound echoed in the desert at night, accompanied by the howling of the wind, and it entered Wang Lin's ears. The stone was 3 inches deep. After J1 fused with it, fine cracks appeared on it. The cracks grew more and more, and in a short span of 10 breaths, it completely shattered. Suddenly, 4 balls of light flew out from within. The moment Wang Lin saw these 4 balls of light, his mind trembled and he was startled. Within the first ball of light was a fist-sized earthling. This person was sitting cross-legged and had no facial features. However, his body was rapidly changing between his armor and human form. The aura of the 5 elemental earth elemental armor blew over, faintly merging with the ground of the desert, sweeping up the surrounding sand and soil. Wang Lin didn't know much about the Gui Sect's armor, but he had seen a few. Whether it was in the cave world or the armor that the Gui Sect's sect master had given to the others. However, whether it was in terms of appearance or aura, the difference between these armors and the person in the ball of light was too great. Even though Wang Lin didn't know much about them, he could tell that they weren't on the same level. Even the whole Gui sect didn't have many of them. Wang Lin didn't know how much old ancestor Azure Cow had paid to exchange for this armor from the whole unitary sect for Wang Lin. Wang Lin silently pondered. Inside the second ball of light was a small, black flag. To be more accurate, it was a ghostly sail. It gave off a dreamlike feeling, as if it could immerse one in it and make it impossible for them to escape. From this small flag, Wang Lin felt the aura of the Great Soul Sect's absolute Kuan ghost sail. If he wasn't wrong, this was the flag that the Gui Sect's sect master had said would be given to anyone who killed Wang Su. Looking at this ghostly sail, an indescribable feeling appeared in Wang Lin's heart. The ghostly sail was extremely important to the Great Soul Sect, but old ancestor Azure Cow had delivered it to him without him noticing. Wang Lin could only silently ponder. Inside the third ball of light was a brown bead. This bead was the same size as the heaven-defying bead, and even some of its aura was similar. When Wang Lin saw this bead, he even had the illusion that he was looking at the heaven-defying bead that had fused with his soul. This is... Wang Lin was startled and carefully looked at the bead. After a long time, he felt that there were more and more things that were similar to his heaven-defying bead, but not all of them. Although this bead was very similar to the heaven-defying bead, it was like the cocoon fire and the bright moon. They were like 2 stars. One could become the sun, and the other could only become a weak starlight. Wang Lin felt the aura of the heavenly bull from this bead. Although he didn't know what it was, he vaguely guessed that it had a deep connection to the heavenly bull. On the heavenly bull continent, anything related to the heavenly bull was an important treasure. It couldn't be easily given away or allowed to leave the heavenly bull continent. However, at this moment, this bead had been delivered to Wang Lin. It looked very light, but in truth, it weighed heavily on the depths of Wang Lin's heart. There was also the 4th ball of light, and inside it was a broken tortoise shell. There were some patterns engraved on it that were blurry to the naked eye, but after scanning it with his divine sense, Wang Lin suddenly turned his head toward the Great Soul Sect. He seemed to see an old man sitting on the green heavenly peak in the Great Soul Sect. The old man smiled at him and raised his hand as if he was saying goodbye to him. Inside the tortoise shell was a map of the entire eastern continent. Although it wasn't very detailed, and the farther away the heavenly bull continent was, the more it only had an outline and a simple introduction. However, this map was extremely important to Wang Lin at this moment. Aside from the map, there was also a detailed introduction to the heavenly bull bead inside the tortoise shell. After Wang Lin looked at it, he immediately understood. Esteemed Green Bull only said one sentence. It wasn't created by his divine sense but engraved inside the tortoise shell. Have a safe journey. After 300 years, come back to see the great soul sect. There was no explanation, no reason, and no three conditions. He just used this sentence to end the karma between the Heavenly Bull continent and Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression revealed a complicated expression. After a long time, he let out a sigh and put away the human-shaped armor and the ghostly sail. Then he took out the Heavenly Bull bead and fused the Heavenly Bull's soul with it. As a result, he could take it anywhere he wanted. In the end, he carefully put away the tortoise shell and looked toward the great soul sect once more. He clasped his hands and bowed deeply. "I'll come back," Wang Lin murmured as he turned around and stepped toward the edge of the tortoise shell. He was going to the Dong Lin sect. The Dong Lin sect was located in the northern part of the eastern continent, inside the Great Sage continent. It was separated by 5 continents from the Heavenly Bull continent. It was very far away, and normally flying would take time. Even with Wang Lin's spatial bending, it would take him 1 or 2 years to get to the Great Sage continent because he couldn't use it continuously. To get to the Dong Lin sect, there was one place he had to pass, and that was the Green Devil continent. If he wanted to go around it, he would have to wait another day. It would waste a lot of time, and it wouldn't just be between the 5 continents. There would be even more dangerous places on the continent. After silently pondering for a moment, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He had a faint guess that the change in the Great Soul sect and the Gue sect had something to do with the Green Devil continent. He didn't know if this guess was true or not, but if it was true, then there would be people at the border of the Heavenly Bull continent trying to stop him. Perhaps it looked dangerous to go to the Green Devil continent, but it had to be said that the Green Devil continent was almost empty. Perhaps the most dangerous place was the safest. After all, few people would have thought that Wang Lin would dare to go to the Green Devil continent alone. After making up his mind, Wang Lin immediately changed directions. He used spatial bending to fuse with the world and headed toward the Pill Sea. Wang Lin flew toward the Pill Sea. Along the way, he headed straight for the Pill Sea. Along the way, when he couldn't use spatial bending, he didn't turn into a ray of light and fly away. After all, everyone in the Heavenly Bull continent was his enemy. Whether it was the cultivators of the Heavenly Bull continent or the Green Devil continent, as long as they saw him and recognized him, there would be a battle. After all, ordinary cultivators of the Heavenly Bull continent only knew about the soul token and didn't know what it was. However, Wang Lin wasn't willing to kill the cultivators of the Heavenly Bull continent. Whenever he couldn't use spatial bending, he would find a place to go into closed-door cultivation and wait for the time to pass before continuing his journey. Because of this, time seemed to slow down. By the time he reached the extreme sky prairie, he was only 1 shift away from the Pill Sea, which would take him about 3 months to reach. It was still several moons later. The Heavenly Bull continent had already entered winter. Snowflakes were falling from the sky, and at a glance, it was as if thousands of kilometers were covered in ice. The gap between Wang Lin's spatial bending would last more than half a month. During these months of closed-door cultivation, Wang Lin's injuries had almost completely healed. He stepped on the snow and stared at the cold wind as he walked forward. Not far in front of him, in this snowy dusk, there was a capital city in the mortal world that emitted scattered lights. There was also smoke rising from kitchen chimneys that seemed to blend together with the snow at dusk. It looked very peaceful and very beautiful. This was the first time Wang Lin was going to enter a mortal world on the immortal astral continent. This place was still some distance away from the Pill Sea. Although it was on the periphery, it hadn't been destroyed by the collapse of the Pill Ripples. The collapse of the Pill Sea shouldn't have killed any mortals. After all, the legend of the Pill Sea had circulated for a long time. Whether it was the embroidered Devil continent or the Heavenly Bull continent, they had already marginalized the Pill Sea and didn't allow mortals to exist there. However, if the celestial pill in the Pill Sea had exploded near the heavenly bull continent, then the city before Wang Lin would have instantly disappeared. The snow became even heavier. The wind howled, as if there was an evil spirit howling in the sky. The smoke that rose up from the chimneys didn't even have time to gather before dispersing. This caused all the commoners in the city to lower their heads, put on their cotton-padded clothes, and quickly head back home. Wang Lin walked into the city at this moment. I didn't explode, so I'm too embarrassed to ask for monthly votes. Brothers and sisters, please give me some recommendation vote. A big wave is brewing, it should be the fourth last wave. Speaking of the wave, I thought of a joke. If there's a chance, I'll tell you guys. Chapter 1887. Snow fell and the cold wind blew. On this winter evening, Wang Lin walked through the city in the mortal world. He didn't know why, but when he sensed this city from afar, he felt the urge to come here. Perhaps I'm looking for a feeling of being ordinary. Wang Lin's feet crunched on the snow on the ground. A few snowflakes fell on his face, and they were very cold. He walked from one end of the city to the other, crossing the entire city. He left behind footprints that were quickly buried in the snow. On the other side of the city gate, Wang Lin looked back. Along the way, he saw the scenes of the mortal world. He saw the lights of tens of thousands of homes lit up in the snowy dusk. However, there was no warm feeling. Everything about him was like the footprints that were covered by the snow. He didn't belong here. This was the first time Wang Lin had such an indescribable feeling. He knew that as his cultivation level increased, he had cut off the last bit of connection to the mortal world. He knew that turning into a mortal 3 times was the end. After that was the end. This was a change in his mentality. He still wanted to rest in this city in the mortal world and watch mortals live and die. However, he could no longer fully integrate into it. Is it my heart that is no longer calm? Wang Lin looked up at the snow in the sky. He stood alone at the city gate and murmured, I now have 8 essences. I'm still missing 1 essence before I can step into the arcane void realm. After that, I'm confident that I can quickly go through the 9 arcane tribulations. Perhaps my heart is no longer calm, but one day, I'll be like I was in the past. I'll be able to calmly stay in this city in the mortal world and silently comprehend the heavens. Wang Lin came, but he left with melancholy. It was as if he had lost something. He wanted to find it, but he couldn't find it. This is the price of becoming an expert. Wang Lin silently walked through the closed city gate. Facing the cold wind and snow outside, he walked off into the distance. The lights of the homes behind him flickered with warmth. However, this warmth was something that Wang Lin longed for, but he couldn't touch. The sound of the wind whistled through the snowflakes. Gradually, the sound of a snowy zither began to echo, accompanied by Wang Lin's lonely figure. Several months later, the collapsed Pill Sea had transformed into a huge basin. It was completely empty, devoid of life, only desolation and deathly stillness. Wang Lin's figure appeared in the sky above the Pill Sea. This was the 2nd time he had come here. Compared to last time, his mood this time was one of parting. Walking through the desolate Pill Sea basin, Wang Lin's divine sense spread out. The closer he got to the Green Devil continent, the more cautious he became. After another month, when Wang Lin crossed the entire Pill Sea and stepped onto the Green Devil continent, he felt a gloomy aura that lingered around the Green Devil continent. This gloomy aura was cold and bloodthirsty, and it was filled with an evil aura. Whether it was the mortals, beasts, or cultivators that were born on this land, all of them had a demonic nature. The Green Devil continent was different from the Heavenly Bull continent. There were very few mountains here, and what occupied most of the land were the endless swamps. The endless swamps seemed to contain many terrifying legends, and when one walked on them, they couldn't help but feel fear. Wang Lin didn't like the Green Devil continent very much. There were very few powerful cultivators on the Green Devil continent, and most of them were low-level cultivators. They posed no threat to Wang Lin, but he still maintained a certain pattern and used spatial bending to cross the Green Devil continent. He could feel that there was a mysterious force deep within the Green Devil continent. This force contained monstrous devilish energy and was extremely powerful. According to the tortoise map, this was where the Green Devil Scorpion Temple was located. The Heavenly Bull continent didn't have a Heavenly Bull temple. The construction of such a temple required an edict from the Celestial Emperor. Without an edict, it couldn't be built. This demonic nature was very strong and could even affect one's mind. Wang Lin didn't get close to it but went around it. He moved toward the end of the Green Devil continent, toward the border of the Meng Earth continent. Time slowly passed. In the blink of an eye, several months went by. During these months, Wang Lin encountered some cultivators, but no one could stop him. Several months later, Wang Lin appeared at the border of the Green Devil continent. At the border of the Meng Earth continent was one of the few mountains in the Green Devil continent. This mountain range was very high and looked like it connected to the sky. Past this mountain range was the Meng Earth continent. Standing at the bottom of the mountain range, Wang Lin's expression was calm as he looked at the towering mountain range. He felt two monstrous devilish energy at the top of the mountain. This devilish energy condensed into two giant scorpion shadows that coiled around the mountain range. These were two Green Devil messengers. Behind these two strands of devilish energy, there was a shocking sword energy at the top of the mountain. As Wang Lin closed in, it seemed to be able to destroy the heavens. It turned into an ancient sword that floated in the sky like the tip of a mountain. Along the way, this was the first time Wang Lin had encountered a Green Devil continent cultivator with the power to stop him. In particular, he felt a familiar fluctuation from that sword energy. This was enough to show that Wang Lin's choice to leave the Green Devil continent through the Green Devil continent was correct. Otherwise, he would have encountered even more cultivators blocking his way. Triple entry. They think too highly of Wang. Wang Lin's expression was neutral as he walked toward the mountain. Just as he stepped forward, he saw two Green Devil scorpions rush out from the mountain. From afar, it looked like two Green Devil scorpions were charging at Wang Lin. Shortly after, the ancient sword shadow at the top of the mountain let out a heaven-shaking sword howl and swept across the world. The sword followed the two devilish energies and chopped down on Wang Lin with the power to split the heavens. Heaven and earth buzzed. The power of the sword seemed to supersede all other light in the area, transforming into a shocking beam of light that shot toward Meng Hao like a beam of light. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. The Heavenly Bull tattoo on the right side of his face shined and turned into countless black strands that surrounded Wang Lin. The strands formed the Heavenly Bull soul armor that covered his body, leaving only his long, white hair and cold eyes. The moment the soul armor was put on, Wang Lin's aura increased greatly and he reached the peak of the early stage of Void Turbulent. He stepped forward and closed in on the first Green Devil Scorpion, the Green Devil Messenger. Just as the two closed in, before Wang Lin could attack, the Green Devil Messenger revealed a hint of madness. He didn't use any spells at all. Instead, as Wang Lin closed in, his hands formed a seal and pressed down on the spot between his eyebrows. Shortly after, a terrifying fluctuation erupted from his body. This Green Devil Messenger was at the mid-stage of Void Turbulent, and he had chosen to self-destruct at this moment. This was a complete self-detonation. Without the slightest hesitation, it exploded. The self-destruction of a mid-stage Void Turbulent cultivator was powerful enough to shake the entire Green Devil continent. It was a destructive force that would even make late-stage Void Turbulent cultivators frown. Without any reason or warning, the moment the Green Devil tribe cultivator self-destructed, the Green Devil Messenger behind him also chose to self-destruct. The self-destruction of two mid-stage void turbulent cultivators was something that even late-stage void turbulent cultivators would have to avoid. The moment the two green devil messengers self-destructed, Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly and a great sense of danger filled his body. This sense of danger didn't come from the self-destruction of the two green devil messengers, but from why they were self-destructing. They hadn't even started fighting, but they were going to self-destruct. This was simply too strange. Also, behind them was Void Cloud, who had used the shocking sword energy. The three of them had the power to fight against Wang Lin, so there was no need for them to self-destruct. If things were abnormal, then there was a demon. To sacrifice two mid-stage void turbulent green devil messengers, the green devil continent's goal must be monstrous. From the looks of it, they wouldn't let Wang Lin easily leave this place. As the thunderous rumbles echoed, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and his right hand reached at the void. The human-shaped earth armor appeared in his hand, and with a wave, an earth-yellow light surrounded his body. Shortly after, Wang Lin erupted with all his cultivation and his ancient Tao power without any hesitation. The moment his ancient Tao aura spread out, a giant figure that seemed to be able to support the world appeared behind Wang Lin. The moment the figure appeared, everyone within tens of thousands of kilometers could clearly see the fluctuations of the ancient Tao aura spread out. The giant ancient Tao shadow let out a roar and shrouded Wang Lin to resist the destructive force of the two green devil messengers' self-destruction. With a thunderous bang, the destructive force of the first green devil messenger's self-destruction landed on the giant ancient Tao shadow. The giant ancient Tao shadow trembled and showed signs of collapsing. The destructive force of the second green devil messenger's self-destruction arrived. The thunderous rumble was heaven-shaking. Wang Lin's ancient Tao power, which had been strengthened by his early-stage void turbulent cultivation, immediately collapsed. At the same time, part of the destructive force of the two mid-stage void turbulent green devil messengers' self-destruction landed on Wang Lin's first layer of armor, the human-shaped earth armor. He woke up in a daze and stared out the window. It was almost dark. Chapter 1888. This destructive impact was resisted by Wang Lin's ancient Tao soul, his body, and the mysterious human-shaped armor that was extremely rare in the Gue sect. Even so, Wang Lin's origin soul trembled and he retreated tens of thousands of feet. Blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth, and the human-shaped armor had a palm-sized crack on his chest, but it didn't collapse. They want me to be injured to stall for time. Wang Lin had tried to use spatial bending before, but this place had been sealed. Even with the soul armor, he still couldn't cross it. Just as Wang Lin retreated, the sword descended from the heavens. It was extremely powerful, as if it was going to split the earth in half. Wang Lin suddenly raised his head. He raised his right hand and threw a punch at the sword. Spells were too complicated for this kind of extreme sword shadow, so it was better to just throw a punch. There was a thunderous bang as the sword shadow collapsed, but Wang Lin's right hand trembled as if it was numb. The human-shaped armor on his arm also shattered. The sword energy rushed into Wang Lin's body through his arm. Just as it was about to destroy him, Wang Lin suppressed it and charged toward the green-robed man standing at the top of the mountain. The green-robed man's expression was cold as he stared at Wang Lin. He was Void Cloud. The moment Wang Lin closed in, Void Cloud raised his right hand and the second sword slashed down on Wang Lin. This sword was 30% stronger than the previous one, and it slashed down on Wang Lin. Wang Lin let out a roar and threw a punch without hesitation. A thunderous rumble echoed and the second sword also collapsed. The human-shaped armor on Wang Lin's right arm exploded. However, the moment the second sword disappeared, Void Cloud sent out a third and a fourth sword. Two rays of sword energy shot toward Wang Lin. Thunderous rumbles echoed as Wang Lin charged out. He was less than 1,000 feet from Void Cloud, and his expression was ferocious and filled with killing intent. Void Cloud's face was slightly pale as he stared at Wang Lin. When Wang Lin was 1,000 feet away, he bit the tip of his tongue and spat out blood. This blood was golden and formed 9 sword shadows that shot toward Wang Lin. Shortly after, he raised his right hand and reached at the void. An ancient sword that gave off the aura of a royal family appeared in his hand. He grabbed it and jumped into the air. After the 9 sword shadows, he unleashed the last sword. The moment Wang Lin saw this ancient sword that gave off the aura of a royal family, he immediately felt a trace of a Grand Empyrean spell. This was the same as his golden print. It was a treasure that the Grand Empyrean had condensed from nothing. The moment the 9 sword shadows closed in, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He was going to leave this place, and anyone who tried to stop him would have to endure his anger. The armor on his right arm had collapsed, but he still had his left arm. His left arm formed a fist, and he threw 9 punches at the 9 sword shadows. Let's see if your sword or Wang's fist is harder. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the mountain range like crazy, and formed a storm that swept the area. The 9 sword shadows collapsed and the armor on Wang Lin's left arm shattered. However, he had moved 1,000 feet and was less than 200 feet away from Void Cloud, who was swinging down the last sword. Wang also has a treasure formed from a Grand Empyrean spell. Wang Lin didn't use Sundered Night. Even with his soul armor, he can't use it twice in a row. He must save it for the most critical moment. Although this battle with Void Cloud looked difficult, it wasn't enough for Wang Lin to use Sundered Night. He also saw through the intentions of Void Cloud and the 2 green devil messengers. This kind of battle was simply to stall for time. The moment Wang Lin spoke, his right hand reached at the void and a large, golden print appeared. When the golden seal appeared, it immediately collided with the golden longsword. A loud rumble echoed in the world. Yun Kong coughed out a mouthful of blood and his expression became dispirited. The sword in his hand was knocked back and shattered into countless pieces. His body was thrown back and landed on the ground with a bang. A deep crack appeared on Wang Lin's golden print, but it didn't shatter. Instead, it became dim and was put away by Wang Lin. When a treasure formed by a Grand Empyrean collided, it often didn't focus on the origin of the treasure or the origin of the spell. Instead, it focused on the Grand Empyrean that created the treasure and how much faith force the Grand Empyrean had condensed. Creating something from nothing was an extremely mysterious realm. It was obvious that the faith force in Void Cloud's sword was far less than Wang Lin's golden print. After putting away the golden print, Wang Lin stood at the peak of the mountain range and coldly stared at Void Cloud not far away. Blood continued to flow out from the corner of Void Cloud's mouth. He looked at Wang Lin with a sense of loss. I lost. He didn't mention that Wang Lin was wearing the Heavenly Bull soul armor or the treasure formed by a Grand Empyrean. A loss was a loss. However, you also lost. Void Cloud struggled to stand up and looked at Wang Lin with a complicated expression. Your soul armor's time limit is almost up. I did everything I could to delay the 2 of them self-detonations so that you would be able to stay here for a while. We didn't think that you would leave this place. We didn't even know that you would leave this place. As Void Cloud spoke, Wang Lin turned toward the other side of the mountain range. He didn't listen to Void Cloud's nonsense and waved his right hand. A ray of blood light pierced through the seriously injured Void Cloud's forehead. There was no scream or resistance. The blood sword pierced through Void Cloud's head and returned to Wang Lin's figure. As for whether the dead Void Cloud was an avatar or the original body, Wang Lin didn't have time to check. He felt a sense of danger. This sense of danger made him feel the same as when he first faced Taoist water. Wang Lin was looking at a desert in the direction of this endless mountain range. This desert was the most common type of land in the Meng Earth continent. Nearly 70% of the Meng Earth continent was this endless desert. Rumor has it that a long time ago, a cultivator from beyond the heavens came to this place from an unknown place. This person fought with the celestial ancestor and was defeated. He was sealed here by the celestial ancestor. This cultivator had a terrifying earth essence power. After he was sealed here, this place became a desert. This person was rumored to be named Meng, so countless years later, this place became known as the Meng Earth Continent. This place was filled with the aura of the earth essence. Just like the Green Devil Continent, the Green Devil Continent was also the earth essence. The Green Devil Scorpion was a fierce beast that lived on the earth. However, it was covered by the devilish energy, so it was difficult to see. These rumors were recorded in detail in Wang Lin's tortoise shell. When he saw the Meng Earth Continent, these memories appeared in Wang Lin's mind. However, he didn't have time to think too much about it. He used the speed of the soul armor to charge toward the Meng Earth Continent even though he couldn't use spatial bending. The distance between them got closer and closer. Wang Lin crossed more than half of the 5,000-kilometer border in an instant. The Meng Earth Continent was far away. However, just at this moment the world changed colors. 6 locations before Wang Lin gave off a blinding light and ripples echoed. It was the activation of the transfer arrays. The transfer arrays were operating very fast. The moment Wang Lin looked over, dozens of figures appeared in each of the 6 transfer arrays. A total of several hundred figures appeared in the blink of an eye, and a shocking cultivation aura spread out in all directions. The activation of these 6 transfer arrays required the Green Devil Continent to pay a great price. The higher the cultivation level, the greater the price. If it was a 3rd-step transfer, the price would be indescribable. However, there were many powerful cultivators among these hundreds of people. This price was enough to empty the Green Devil Continent's 100,000 years of savings. These people were originally lying in ambush at the borders of the Heavenly Bull Continent, waiting for Wang Lin's arrival. However, due to an error in judgment, they had to teleport here by force. These were only a portion of them. Even more people were teleporting here. These cultivators were all wearing similar clothes. Although the colors were different, the black and white sun and moon pattern on their clothes were exactly the same. Wang Lin knew this pattern from the tortoise shell. This was the symbol of the number 1 sect in the Green Devil Continent, the Devil Dao sect. It wasn't the entire Green Devil Continent that was trying to stop Wang Lin, but the Devil Dao sect. The Meng Earth Continent was within 500 kilometers, but now the Devil Dao sect was here to stop Wang Lin. The feeling of danger became even stronger. Wang Lin's pupils shrank and he charged forward. A total of hundreds of cultivators flew out from the 6 transfer arrays toward Wang Lin. At the same time, they threw out shadows that smashed into the area around Wang Lin. Extreme Sky Prairie, heads of 9 cultivators. Extreme Sky Prairie, heads of 6 cultivators. Extreme Sky Prairie, heads of arcane turbulent rogue cultivators. Extreme Sky Prairie, those cold voices echoed across the world. When they landed in Wang Lin's ears, Wang Lin was shocked. He looked at the heads and the mournful faces. He was familiar with these faces. They were the cultivators he had fought with for several months in the 3rd meridian of the Heavenly Bull and survived. He didn't know their names, but Wang Lin remembered what they looked like. These hundreds of heads made up less than half of the people that had survived in the Extreme Sky Prairie. Don't you like human heads? These are my Devil Dao sect's first gift to you. A sinister voice echoed. Devil Dao sect. If I, Wang Lin, can leave this place today, I'll definitely destroy this sect. Wang Lin's eyes revealed a monstrous red light and he made an oath in his heart. This was the first time he was so determined to destroy a sect on the immortal astral continent. Chapter 1889. Sundered Night. Wang Lin suddenly turned around. He knew that it would be extremely difficult for him to leave today. The Devil Dao sect was going all out to kill him. However, looking at the surrounding cultivators and the heads on the ground, it was enough to explain everything. If he wanted to leave, he would have to risk it all. And he had to be fast. Otherwise, as more Devil Dao sect cultivators arrived, there would be no chance for Wang Lin to leave. The longer it took, the more life he would have. After the words, sundered night, the border between the Green Devil continent and the Meng Earth continent was shrouded in an illusory sea. It covered the world and caused the surroundings to turn into night. The moment sundered night appeared, Wang Lin erupted with his strongest spell as a cultivator. The world howled and the sun rose up, giving off the power to tear open the night. No matter what cultivation level, the hundreds of Devil Dao sect cultivators that were charging at Wang Lin all let out miserable screams. Their bodies collapsed and their origin souls were destroyed before they could escape. There was also another wave of people that were being teleported through the transfer array. Before their bodies could completely reform, they collapsed and died. After using Sundered Night, the world changed colors. Aside from Wang Lin, there was no one left alive. His face was pale, and the soul armor's duration was about to end. Wang Lin didn't hesitate to charge toward the Meng Earth continent. It wasn't that he didn't consider destroying the 6 transfer arrays, but the fact that they were still intact after using Sundered Night meant that Wang Lin couldn't destroy them in a short period of time. In the blink of an eye, Wang Lin crossed half of the 500-kilometer range. However, at this moment, the 6 transfer arrays lit up once more and a third wave of hundreds of cultivators gave off even more powerful fluctuations. They turned into rays of light and chased after Wang Lin. Among these hundreds of cultivators, 4 were at the mid-stage of Void Turbulent and 1 was at the late stage of Void Turbulent. This level of slaughter meant that the Devil Dao sect had brought out almost all their power, using the power of a sect to kill a single person. This sort of thing had to do with personal vendettas, but it wasn't just for personal vendettas. When it came to the level of the 9 sects Shursan sect, there was no sect leader or patriarch who would do something like that. Wang Lin's eyes were bloodshot. As the hundreds of people closed in, he knew he wouldn't have a chance to cross the 500 kilometers. He suddenly turned around. As the hundreds of spells and treasures closed in, especially the 5 Void Turbulent cultivators, he raised his right hand and his ancient Dao power erupted. The ancient Dao shadow appeared behind him. This phantom was a bit blurry. It was clear that it had been injured by the Green Devil Messenger's self-destruction. But now that it appeared, it gave everyone a sense of oppression. God Shakes, Soldier Cultivator Ranks. Demonic Art, Fire Beacon Mountain. Devil Dao, Life and Death Reversal. Wang Lin's right hand smashed forward. Aside from the late-stage Void Turbulent Old Monster, the rest of the hundreds of cultivators seemed to distort and their flight paths changed. They lined up like a mortal army before Wang Lin. This was the Soldier Cultivator formation. The power of the God Shakes rippled, causing half of the hundreds of cultivators to bleed from their orifices and their minds to tremble. The moment the fist and palm descended, thick smoke came out from the top of the heads of the hundreds of cultivators. The smoke rose into the air and gathered in the air to form a giant mountain. The mountain was formed by the smoke, and it covered the area above the hundreds of cultivators as it ruthlessly pressed down on them. The palm turned into a finger, and life and death reversal occurred. The hundreds of cultivators let out miserable screams, and most of them collapsed. The only late-stage Void Turbulent Old Monster that wasn't restricted was less than a few hundred feet from Wang Lin. At this moment, Wang Lin's ancient Dao No Celestial erupted. God, Demon, Devil, Ancient Dao No Celestial. This Ji-Dao No Celestial was created by Wang Lin's ancient Dao cultivation and the Void Turbulent power from the Soul Armor. Its power was shocking, and although it was different from Kan Ye's faith spell, its destructive power was the same. Thunderous rumbles echoed and a gray ripple spread out like crazy. The hundreds of cultivators all died. The expression of the late-stage Void Turbulent Old Monster changed, and he was knocked back. However, he still collided with the gray ripple. The old man's face immediately turned pale and his feet showed signs of turning into stone as he retreated. His hands continuously pointed at his body, and every time he did so, A strand of aura would rush into his body to fight against the ancient Tao no celestial art. Aside from him, all the Devil Tao sect cultivators at the border between the Green Devil continent and the Meng Earth continent died. Blood flowed out from the corner of Wang Lin's mouth. Almost all the ancient Tao power in his body had been used up. The soul armor on his body had become soft, and some of it had turned into black threads that were about to dissipate. Wang Lin clenched his teeth and quickly retreated. The 500-kilometer range was now 200 kilometers. However, just at this moment, the 7 transfer arrays flashed once more. The fourth wave of cultivators appeared and chased after Wang Lin like crazy. War Spirit Print. 7-colored lance. Dark Moon Clear Sky. Flowing Moon Spell. Origin Scatter J. Wang Lin's eyes were red. He was going to use all his spells before his soul armor completely dissipated to kill these Devil Tao sect cultivators. The moment the War Spirit Print appeared, the 6-fingered palm print appeared and shot toward the hundreds of cultivators. At the same time, the 7-colored lance changed 3 times and flew away. The dark moon clear sky turned into a blood moon and began its corrosive slaughter. Along with the time reversal and the eruption of essences, all of these spells were used by Wang Lin in a short period of time. A thunderous rumble echoed as Wang Lin's body was swept away. Most of the soul armor on his body turned into threads that gathered on the right side of his face. However, at the same time, under Wang Lin's crazy spells, almost all the cultivators in the fourth wave died. Only 3 people survived, and they looked at Wang Lin with deep fear in their eyes. There were also 7 transfer arrays. Under this continuous attack, 3 of them finally collapsed. Wang Lin's body was knocked back. He was less than 50 kilometers away from the Meng Earth continent, but the sense of danger he felt didn't dissipate. Instead, it became even stronger. The remaining 4 transfer arrays were no longer fixed and seemed to be shrouded by a mysterious force. They teleported at a speed that was impossible for cultivators here. In a flash, they appeared 50 kilometers away from Wang Lin. The moment they appeared, a bright light shined and turned into the fourth wave. More than 100 cultivators blocked Wang Lin and charged at Wang Lin with killing intent and cruelty. The moment the 100 cultivators appeared, the void turbulent cultivators behind Wang Lin closed in. They didn't give Wang Lin any chance to escape. Wang Lin's eyes were red. At this moment, only a small part of his soul armor hadn't turned into black threads. He seemed to have used up all his spells, but he still had another move. Behind him, the Fire Origin true body manifested and spread out in all directions. The speed at which it spread was so fast that it covered all directions in an instant. Ethereal fire, burn! Wang Lin roared. His voice was hoarse as he used the ethereal fire spell. The hundreds of cultivators here all had endless thoughts in their hearts, and these thoughts were the best flames for ethereal fire to burn. Under this ethereal fire, the hundreds of cultivators began to burn. They gave off a ghostly glow and miserable screams echoed. Anyone who blocks me will die. Wang Lin bit his tongue and forced his fatigue to disappear. He let out a roar and charged forward like crazy. There was a flash of blood light in his hand and the blood sword appeared in his hand. He waved his left hand and the Great Soul Sect's ghost sail flag appeared. Large amounts of black fog appeared around him, and the black fog turned into countless ghosts. They roared as Wang Lin charged forward. This scene was shocking. Wherever Wang Lin passed, the cultivators burned by the ethereal fire either died to Wang Lin's sword, or were suppressed by Wang Lin's murderous aura. They didn't dare to stop him and retreated in fear. As he charged forward, Wang Lin's body was filled with killing intent. Along the way, more than half of the cultivators died. Some retreated in terror and looked at Wang Lin in terror. It wasn't that they had never seen powerful cultivators before, but it was extremely rare to see someone as fierce and difficult to kill as Wang Lin. To kill such a cultivator would require the Devil Tao sect to pay a price even greater than opening a large transfer array. This price would likely be the destruction of a sect. It would be a heavy price for the 9 sure sand sects to become the 8 sure sand sects. The moment Wang Lin entered the Meng Earth continent, all of the soul armor on his body turned into threads and gathered on the right side of his face to form the heavenly bull tattoo. A feeling of weakness filled his body, but he suppressed it once more. He still had the human-shaped earth armor of the Gui sect on his body. Although half of the armor had collapsed, it still had a very strong defensive power. After stepping into the Meng Earth continent, Wang Lin staggered and blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. He understood that rogue cultivators could cross between the 2 continents, but as disciples of the Devil Dao sect, if a large number of them entered, it would be very different. The Devil Dao sect had to consider this point. Otherwise, they wouldn't have used the Green Devil sect cultivators to self-destruct and Void Cloud to stall for time to keep him in the Green Devil continent. If they weren't so worried, they wouldn't have been in a rush to kill him at the Meng Earth continent. Just as Wang Lin had guessed, the Devil Dao sect cultivators stopped outside the Meng Earth continent. They hesitated and didn't continue. However, just at this moment the 4 transfer arrays lit up once more. 3 of them had dozens of cultivators, but the 4th only had 1 person. Sect Master! Greetings, Sect Master! The moment this person appeared, all the cultivators bowed. Chapter 1890. The person who walked out from the 4th teleportation portal was a middle-aged man. He wore a black and white Taoist robe, and his figure was tall and straight. He exuded an otherworldly aura. He stood there, and his appearance was extremely handsome. However, his lips were slightly thin, causing him to give off a cold aura. This kind of person was definitely a mean and ungrateful person. He would never use the power of his sect to kill a single person because of a personal grudge. The moment he walked out of the formation, a peak late-stage void turbulent aura erupted from his body. This aura caused the world to change colors. It was as if countless devil gods were roaring in all directions, causing the world to tremble. His cultivation was only 1 step away from peak void turbulent. The moment he walked out, the surrounding Devil Dao sect cultivators all half-knelt on the ground and lowered their heads. Only this man stood there and coldly looked at Wang Lin, who was rushing through the Meng Earth continent. Wang Lin's mind trembled. The moment the middle-aged man walked out of the transfer array, the sense of crisis that had been lingering in his heart suddenly erupted. This sense of crisis came from the middle-aged man behind him, the Devil Dao sect's sect master. Without looking back, Wang Lin moved as fast as he could. Aside from the fact that he couldn't use spatial bending here, he turned into a series of afterimages as he charged into the distance. He could feel that after flying for a short distance, the power that sealed off heaven and earth would disappear, and he would be able to merge with heaven and earth. However, in the Green Devil continent, the Devil Dao sect's sect master was calm and didn't hesitate like the other Devil Dao sect cultivators. He stepped out of the border between the Green Devil continent and the Meng Earth continent and entered the Meng Earth continent. The moment he entered the Meng Earth continent, the Devil Dao sect's sect master stood there and looked at Wang Lin. He slowly raised his right hand and pointed at the sky. Dao, devil. From the moment he appeared until now, these were the only 2 words that came out of his mouth. As he spoke, the endless mountain range at the border between the Green Devil continent and the Meng Earth continent trembled violently. This tremble affected the earth and created a thunderous rumble. As the loud rumble echoed, the majestic mountain range that looked like a lying dragon was pulled by an invisible force. That force gathered from all directions, and at the very left edge of the mountain range, at the end of the mountain range, a huge figure appeared. This figure was a white-haired old man wearing a white Taoist robe. He had the air of a celestial, and after he appeared, he had a kind smile as he waved his sleeve at the mountain range. At the same time, at the other end of the mountain range, as the world distorted, another gigantic figure appeared. It was a devil figure dressed in a black robe, with monstrous demonic aura around him. He looked like a cold young man, and there was a murderous aura around him that could overturn the heavens and earth, as well as a monstrous amount of blood. After he appeared, his right hand suddenly pointed at the majestic mountain range below him. This scene shocked all the cultivators of the Dao sect. They looked at their sect master with fanaticism in their eyes. Under the combined attacks of the celestial-like old man in the Taoist robe and the young man in the black robe, the endless mountain range gave off a heaven-shaking rumble. The mountain range that looked to be tens of thousands of kilometers long was uprooted from the ground by this power. The world rumbled, and the mountain range that was tens of thousands of kilometers long rose into the air. From afar, it looked like a dragon leaving the earth. As the Devil Dao sect's sect master calmly pointed, a deafening howl echoed. The mountain range that was tens of thousands of kilometers long flew toward the Meng Earth continent. Its speed was unimaginable, and in the blink of an eye, it crossed thousands of kilometers and flew past Wang Lin. Wang Lin was startled for a moment. He saw the giant mountain range flash past him and land on the desert of the Meng Earth continent 2,000 kilometers away. As a result, if this mountain range was the boundary between the two continents, then Wang Lin was still in the Green Devil continent. The feeling of life and death crisis increased like crazy until it formed a giant shadow that shrouded Wang Lin's body and mind. So you're still in the Green Devil continent. The Devil Dao sect's sect master calmly said the second thing he had said since coming here. As he spoke, he casually took a step forward and appeared less than 1,000 feet from Wang Lin. Wang Lin clenched his teeth and charged forward. He knew that it would be difficult for him to escape the Green Devil continent today, but it was impossible for him to give up. Don't be afraid, this sect won't kill you. You are of great use to this sect. The Devil Dao sect's sect master revealed a strange light and a hint of contempt, as if he was looking at an ant. He raised his right hand and waved his sleeve at Wang Lin. His cultivation level was too high. At this moment, Wang Lin's soul armor had dissipated and his cultivation level had returned to the late stage of spirit void. He had also used many spells and was like a dried-up oil lamp. The difference between them was too big. As he waved his sleeve, Wang Lin revealed a decisive gaze. He immediately closed his eyes and sensed the avatar in the void. The moment the Devil Dao sect's sect master waved his sleeve, an indescribable aura appeared around Wang Lin. His eyes turned golden and his hands formed a seal before he waved his hand. The world rumbled and Wang Lin's body trembled violently. He coughed out blood and was knocked back toward the mountain range in the distance. The other party was too strong. Even though Wang Lin could borrow the power of his avatar, he was still inferior to this person. The collision just now had seriously injured him, and he showed signs of fainting. He mercilessly bit the tip of his tongue and forced himself to awaken. The Devil Dao sect's sect master was surprised and there was a strange light in his eyes. He looked at the escaping Wang Lin and shook his head. You are indeed worthy of being the designated person. Even at this level, you were still able to resist one of my attacks. Very good. Since this is the case, I'll let you see the power of my Devil Dao sect's handprint. Don't you know it as well? The middle-aged man raised his right hand and waved it at the sky. The sky seemed to collapse and ripples that looked like fish scales appeared. In an instant, the white-robed old man that looked like a celestial appeared. He stood there as if he was looking down on all life. When his gaze fell on Wang Lin, he let out a roar and charged at Wang Lin. As he charged out, he turned into a giant, white handprint. This handprint didn't have 5 fingers, but 7. Shortly after, on the other side of the handprint, the black-robed young man walked out from the void. He let out a cold snort and turned into a giant, black, 7-fingered handprint that smashed down on Wang Lin. From a distance, this scene looked like a painting. 1 black and 1 white handprint descended from the sky toward Wang Lin. In an instant, The two handprints fused together several dozen feet above Wang Lin to form a black and white celestial demon handprint. The moment this handprint appeared, it was as if day and night had reversed and everything became a blur. In this blur, Wang Lin didn't continue to escape but stood there. He looked at the giant celestial demon handprint descending from the sky and silently pondered. There was no despair or sorrow on his face. There was only a hint of regret in his calm expression. Wang Lin understood that he couldn't avoid this calamity no matter what. He regretted that he hadn't resurrected Wan Er. He regretted that he still had so many brothers and friends that he hadn't found on the immortal astral continent. With a sigh, Wang Lin closed his eyes. The moment he closed his eyes, he didn't give up struggling. He summoned the heaven-defying bead he hadn't used in a long time. Heaven-defying bead. The handprint closed in and landed on Wang Lin's body. At this moment, the Devil Dao sect master's heart skipped a beat and an unspeakable sense of fear appeared in his heart. Without hesitation, he waved his right hand at the sky. The sound waves were monstrous and the wind howled. The handprint surrounded Wang Lin but didn't kill him. The Devil Dao sect master mercilessly grabbed Wang Lin and buried his body in his palm. After doing all of this, the Devil Dao sect master jumped into the air and fused with the handprint. He charged into the depths of the Green Devil continent. Behind him, the Devil Dao sect cultivators turned into rays of light and followed their sect master. After everyone left, the mountain range in the distance slowly retreated back to its original position. The Meng Earth continent's side did not spread out any divine sense about this matter, as if they had already known about it and had reached an agreement with the Meng Earth continent. A ray of light pierced through the sky. The Devil Dao sect master's expression was calm, but he was still hesitating. At that moment, he had a feeling that if he had tried to kill Wang Lin, a disaster would have befallen him. This feeling was extremely rare for him, and he couldn't ignore it. This person is the designated person. He must have some tricks up his sleeve. He is very cunning. If I had killed him according to the plan, I wouldn't have to pay such a price. While pondering, the Devil Dao sect master moved faster and faster toward the center of the Green Devil continent, where the Green Devil Scorpion Temple was. Suppress this person inside the Green Devil Scorpion Temple. Use his body to nourish the Green Devil and his soul to revive the Green Devil. Chapter 1891. Several months later, at the center of the Green Devil continent, there was a green swamp. Large amounts of bubbles would occasionally come out and give off the smell of decay. This place was covered in green fog. This fog was formed after the bubbles burst, and it condensed over the years. In this area that occupied a radius of millions of miles, there was a towering building. From afar, this building looked like a giant scorpion. The scorpion was 100,000 feet large and was completely black. It was lying on the swamp and looked very lifelike. A monstrous devilish energy spread out from within and shrouded the area. This made it so that most cultivators couldn't get close, or else they would go crazy from the devilish energy. Aside from the Devil Dao sect master, all the cultivators had rushed back to the Devil Dao sect. Only the sect master who had captured Wang Lin arrived outside the Devil Fate Scorpion Temple. Only with his cultivation level could he not be affected by the devilish energy here. At this moment, the Devil Dao sect master appeared next to the scorpion building. The moment he appeared, a weak cough came from the mouth of the scorpion below. In this quiet surroundings, these coughs, although weak, were extremely clear. As the coughing gradually approached, 3 figures slowly walked out from the mouth of the scorpion. Among the 3 figures, the 2 at the back wore green Taoist robes with a ferocious scorpion engraved on them. They looked middle-aged, but they gave off the aura of mid-stage void turbulent cultivators. Their expressions were cold, as if they had no emotion at all. At this moment, the 2 of them were like guards protecting a figure whose entire body was covered by a green robe. The figure looked extremely old, and as he walked forward, he began to cough. The old figure stopped and said in a hoarse voice, "Did you bring the person back?" The Devil Dao sect master was very polite to the old man hidden in the green robe. He clasped his hands and nodded. "I have brought him. Priest, please take a look." As he spoke, he waved his right hand and a figure shrouded in black and white gas appeared before him. Wang Lin's eyes were closed as he sat there motionlessly. "Very good. He should be very suitable to suppress the destiny of my Green Devil continent and satisfy Lord Green Devil." The old man raised his head. It was impossible to see his face, but one could see his demonic eyes. He looked at Wang Lin and revealed a satisfied expression. The Devil Dao sect master slowly said, "In order to capture him, the Devil Dao sect paid a great price. After Lord Green Devil revives, the reward promised to you will not be small. However, in order to suppress this person, I will need the help of your Devil Dao art. You know what to do. Erase his consciousness, destroy his mind and memories." The old man's hoarse voice was filled with fanaticism as he looked at Wang Lin. "This person's mind is extremely firm. It won't be easy to erase his consciousness and destroy his mind." The Devil Dao sect master smiled but didn't immediately act. The old man shrouded in green coughed violently. After a long time, he slowly said, "Cough? In the future, the Green Devil continent will only have the Devil Dao sect." "Good. Since priest has said this, then I'll use the Devil Dao art to plant the Devil Dao change in his heart and let him destroy his own mind." The Devil Dao sect master laughed and no longer hesitated. His finger pierced through the ball of light and pointed to between Wang Lin's eyebrows. Then he grabbed the black and white ball of light around Wang Lin and threw it toward the scorpion building below. A thunderous roar echoed as Wang Lin, who had his eyes closed, was thrown toward the giant scorpion. The moment he landed, a giant vortex appeared on the scorpion's back and sucked Wang Lin's body into it. He has a lot of essences in his body, 8 in total. One of them has formed an essence true body. Among the 8 essences, one is connected to mine, and that is the thunder essence. I'll use the thunder essence as the link to destroy his mind and memories." As the Devil Dao sect master spoke, he sat down, closed his eyes, and remained motionless. The green-robed old man in the scorpion's mouth coughed and walked into the scorpion's mouth. The coughing gradually faded into the distance. The 2 green devil messengers behind him didn't say a word as they entered the scorpion's body and disappeared. In the deepest part of the scorpion building, there was an empty space that was filled with endless green light. If one were to take a closer look, one would be able to see a large number of green scorpion souls in every ray of light. They were gathered in this space, and were constantly emitting soul roars. Wang Lin's body sat motionless inside this green space, but countless green scorpions slowly gathered and covered most of his body. His body didn't move, but there was a faint flash of lightning in his right eye. At this moment there was a surge of origin energy moving like crazy inside his body. This origin was the thunder essence inside Wang Lin's body. As this thunder essence moved, popping sounds came from Wang Lin's body. Arcs of lightning would spread out from his body and cover his entire body. At this moment, Wang Lin had fallen into a coma. His mind, even his soul, was silent and didn't move at all. However, what others couldn't see, not even the priest and the Devil Dao sect master, was that there was a bead slowly rotating inside Wang Lin's soul. Every time it rotated, Wang Lin's soul and mind, as well as his memories and consciousness, would tremble a bit and be protected by a soft light. It was as if he and his body had split into 2 parts. In this strange state, the thunder essence inside his body became stronger and stronger. This strength quickly surpassed the other essences. Although it was still inferior to the fire essence that had formed its true body, the gap between them was getting closer and closer. It was as if an invisible channel had appeared inside Wang Lin's body. This channel directly connected to the Devil Dao sect master's body and fused with the powerful thunder essence that hadn't formed its true body yet. Time slowly passed, and in the blink of an eye, several months went by. During these months, the thunder essence in Wang Lin's body became even stronger. Thunderous rumbles echoed inside his body as he crazily absorbed the Devil Dao sect master's will from the thunder essence. After several months, the Devil Dao sect master gradually frowned. He didn't expect the thunder essence in Wang Lin's body to absorb so much of his own essence and still not be able to condense its will. According to his original plan, he only needed 1 month for his thunder essence to completely replace Wang Lin's essence. Because that essence contained his will, he could use this method to erase Wang Lin's body from the inside. This way, he could perfectly cause Wang Lin to lose his mind and memories without affecting the priest's request. If it wasn't for the priest's request, the Devil Dao sect master had countless ways to instantly erase Wang Lin. However, doing so would be too forceful and would cause damage. Even the slightest damage would affect the Green Devil Scorpion's revival. Priest, I need your help. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to accomplish your request. One day in the 4th month, the Devil Dao sect master couldn't help but speak. He helplessly found that almost all of his thunder essence had entered Wang Lin's body, but it still hadn't completely replaced Wang Lin's essence and formed his own will. This was very strange. It was as if there was a vortex inside Wang Lin's body that was absorbing his will. The truth was as the Devil Dao sect master had guessed. Every time the heaven-defying bead rotated inside Wang Lin's body, it would protect Wang Lin's soul and absorb any will that wasn't Wang Lin's will. I cough. An old and hoarse voice came from the scorpion. Before it finished speaking, it began to cough violently. After a long time, the voice continued to echo. I still have 2 Thunder Emperor beads I got from the Thunder Emperor continent. I was going to give them to Sir to absorb after he revives. I'll give one to you. As the voice spoke, the world rumbled and a bolt of gray lightning shot out from the scorpion toward the Devil Dao sect master. As it neared, it transformed into a fist-sized pearl. Inside of the pearl were countless bolts of lightning, and within the lightning could be seen the image of a war chariot. Standing atop the war chariot was an indistinct figure, who looked like the Emperor of Lightning. Even with the Devil Dao sect master's cultivation and experience, when he saw this bead, his heart skipped a beat and his eyes revealed a strange light. He seemed to be struggling, but he quickly suppressed this thought. This was for the resurrected Green Devil Scorpion, and it wasn't something he could touch. If it wasn't for the fact that he had to erase Wang Lin's consciousness and memory, the priest wouldn't have taken it out. The Devil Dao sect master no longer hesitated and inhaled. The Thunder Emperor bead turned into countless bolts of lightning that flew into his mouth. The moment he devoured it, the thunder essence inside his body increased greatly. However, before he could retain any, it was all sucked into the passage between him and Wang Lin. Deep inside the scorpion's body, inside the green space, Wang Lin's body trembled violently. The thunder essence inside his body increased greatly and showed signs of forming his thunder essence true body. Chapter 1892. The thunder essence in Wang Lin's body continued to grow. However, due to the existence of the heaven-defying bead, the Devil Dao sect master's will couldn't completely enter Wang Lin's body, so he couldn't erase Wang Lin's consciousness. However, at this moment, after the Devil Dao sect master devoured the Thunder Emperor bead, the thunder essence in his body was sucked into Wang Lin's body like crazy. Wang Lin's body trembled violently and his long hair moved without any wind. Countless arcs of lightning surrounded his body and gave off a powerful thunder might. This thunder might was heaven-shaking. Even though Wang Lin was inside this green space, it caused the space to tremble. Countless rays of green light shined and turned into large amounts of green scorpions that silently roared around Wang Lin. However, when this unimaginably powerful thunder essence entered Wang Lin's body and was about to form the Devil Dao sect master's will, the heaven-defying bead suddenly rotated and sucked the will back and forth. It was like a pool of water that was about to overflow and suddenly lost some of its water. After reaching a certain balance, it slowly decreased. How could this be? Outside the Scorpion building, the Devil Dao sect master suddenly opened his eyes and was filled with disbelief. He couldn't see the heaven-defying bead inside Wang Lin's body. He could sense that everything was normal inside Wang Lin's body. He couldn't find where his lost will had gone. He wasn't the only one who felt something was wrong. The old priest inside the Scorpion building also frowned. After pondering a bit, he let out a cough and waved his sleeve. Another bolt of thunder came out from the giant Scorpion building and turned into the Thunder Emperor bead. It flew toward the Devil Dao sect master. The final Lightning Emperor's bead. Even in the entire Thunder Emperor continent, there are less than 3 of them left. If you are still unable to succeed, all of our previous promises will be null and void. That elderly voice was hoarse as it rang out, with coughing sounds mixed within. The Devil Dao sect master's expression was extremely gloomy. He didn't expect things to be so strange. He stared at the Thunder Emperor bead and the veins on his face swelled. He opened his mouth and inhaled. The bead turned into a bolt of lightning and charged into his mouth. The moment the bead fell, the Obedience Demon sect master formed a seal with his hands and pressed them between his eyebrows. He let out a roar toward the sky. Thunder essence, disperse! As he roared, all the thunder essence inside the Devil Dao sect master's body was released without any hesitation. It rushed into Wang Lin's body through the invisible channel, and it contained all of his will. This time, he had to succeed. There was also a powerful wave of thunder inside the thunder essence. It was formed by the second Thunder Emperor bead, and it pushed the Devil Dao sect master's will to rush out like crazy. As the indescribable power of the thunder essence rumbled, Wang Lin's body trembled once more in the green space inside the Scorpion. The arcs of thunder around him increased dozens of times and spread out more than 1,000 feet. The area around Wang Lin turned into a thunder hell. The rumbling thunder turned into a blinding light that shrouded the area. Wang Lin's head rose up against his will. A lightning mark flashed 9 times in his right eye and rushed out. The lightning that rushed out turned into a giant lightning mark thousands of feet above Wang Lin's head. The moment it appeared, it absorbed all the power of thunder within 1,000 feet like crazy. Bolts of lightning rapidly gathered and fused with it. Then the outline of a person appeared around the lightning mark. This was the outline of the essence true body. Although it hadn't completely formed, it wouldn't take long for it to become the essence true body. In a flash, after all the thunder was absorbed, even more thunder erupted from Wang Lin's body. Bolts of lightning came out from all the pores on Wang Lin's body. The 108,000 pores didn't just release 108,000 bolts of lightning. There were at least 10 bolts of lightning coming out from each of them. Just like that, this amount of lightning was already a huge number. The power gathered together was enough to shake the heavens and the earth. In this green space, the lightning filled every corner and almost replaced the green color, turning this place into a space of lightning. This large amount of thunder completely smashed into the human outline formed by the lightning mark above Wang Lin. Thunderous rumbles echoed and could even be heard outside the Scorpion building. The thunderous rumbles spread for millions of kilometers and caused the entire Green Devil continent to tremble. The human silhouette that was formed from the lightning symbol rapidly grew as it continued to absorb lightning energy. Numerous lightning bones swiftly appeared within the silhouette. Each bone was formed from countless lightning bolts that were closely arranged together. In an instant, a complete set of bones appeared within the human silhouette. Shortly after, as large amounts of thunder fused into the skeleton, thin strands of thunder appeared and turned into meridians and flesh. When the last strand of thunder was absorbed, what floated above the unconscious Wang Lin was another Wang Lin. His eyes were closed and there was lightning moving inside and outside his body. It was as if he was born from thunder. Just by standing there, it was enough to make the world tremble and yield to thunder. Thunder Essence True Body. The Thunder Essence True Body Wang Lin dreamed of was born like this. However, this avatar didn't belong to Wang Lin, it belonged to the Devil Dao Sect Master. Because this Thunder Essence True Body contained the will of the Devil Dao Sect Master. Outside the Scorpion building, the Devil Dao Sect Master was struggling. He felt the existence of the Thunder Essence True Body and was extremely shocked. His expectations of Wang Lin had failed once again. He didn't expect Wang Lin's comprehension of the Fire Essence True Body to have the potential to give birth to a second Essence True Body. At this moment, the Devil Dao Sect Master was in a dilemma. He wanted to obtain the Thunder Essence True Body, but once he did so, he wouldn't be able to complete the priest's request. As he struggled, a cough came from the Scorpion building. This cough entered the Devil Dao Sect Master's mind and his eyes were filled with decisiveness. Compared to the benefits promised by the Green Devil Scorpion, although this Essence True Body is precious, it's not like I can't give it up. The Devil Dao Sect Master quickly raised his hand and pointed to between his eyebrows. He closed his eyes and focused on the Thunder Essence True Body above Wang Lin. The Thunder Essence True Body trembled and closed its eyes. It slowly raised its right hand and pressed down on Wang Lin. Wang Lin's body trembled and the last 7 bolts of Thunder Essence True Body rushed out from his orifices. The 7 bolts of Thunder Essence True Body shot out from the eyes, ears, nose, and mouth toward the 7 orifices of the Thunder Essence True Body. The moment they entered, the Thunder Essence True Body suddenly opened its eyes. His eyes were gloomy and the aura of the Devil Dao Sect Master surrounded his body. His body flickered and thunder rumbled across the world. Outside the Scorpion, outside the temple, outside the 1,000,000-kilometer range, and across most of the Green Devil continent, shocking thunder appeared in the sky. As these bolts of lightning reverberated in the air with loud rumbles, they charged towards Scorpion Temple at the center at an unimaginable speed. The speed of this thunderbolt was indescribable. It was faster than all cultivators, as if it had merged with the world. In an instant, it charged from all directions of the Scorpion Temple and headed straight for the green space within the Scorpion's body. Suddenly, the Thunder True Body in the space was condensed by the surging thunder and turned into a thunder armor. At the same time, a crown formed on the head of the True Body. This crown was the Thunder Emperor's crown. At the instant the crown was formed, the endless thunder and lightning behind the Essence True Body gathered in a frenzy to form a Thunder War Chariot. At this moment, the Thunder Essence True Body was completely formed. Sitting below, Wang Lin's body trembled violently. The heaven-defying bead inside his body wasn't hidden. It was protecting Wang Lin's origin soul and everything else. He had awakened because his heart trembled. The moment he awakened, Wang Lin opened his eyes and saw the Thunder Essence True Body in the sky. The moment he saw the True Body, Wang Lin was startled. He was still confused by all of this, but he soon understood. He was startled because in his heart, when he first used the Soul I Dao in the Great Soul Sect, he saw a shocking scene in the future. That scene was exactly the same as what he was seeing now. Back then, Wang Lin saw that his Thunder Essence True Body was going to use the power of thunder to suppress him. Back then, he didn't understand how his Essence True Body could do this. After all, the True Body was formed by him and completely belonged to him. It was a part of his body, so it was impossible for the scene he had seen in the future to appear. However, right now that scene had come true. A great fortune, a great spell, was about to begin. Chapter 1893. The Thunder Essence True Body coldly looked at Wang Lin from above. Thunder rumbled from its body, and as it echoed in this space, the Thunder Essence true body suddenly moved. It raised its right hand and slammed down on Wang Lin. Countless bolts of thunder appeared and rapidly suppressed Wang Lin. Wang Lin sat there and looked at his essence true body mercilessly suppressing him. His expression was extremely gloomy, and now that he had awakened, the image of the Devil Dao sect master appeared in his mind. In particular, the formation of the Thunder Essence true body and the sudden change must be directly related to the Devil Dao sect master. In fact, Wang Lin could even vaguely feel the aura of the Devil Dao sect master from this essence true body. Captured me, but didn't kill or injure me. Instead occupied my thunder and helped me form my essence true body. Then it used this Thunder Essence true body to suppress me. His goal wasn't to suppress me, but to use this essence true body to cause chaos in my mind and destroy me. Wang Lin's eyes lit up, and in a short period of time, thousands of thoughts flashed through his mind. He had predicted this scene back then, and although it was only a one-sided scene, it had shocked him greatly. In order to prevent himself from not knowing what to do, Wang Lin had already thought of a countermeasure. The moment the Thunder Essence true body arrived, Wang Lin took a deep breath. His origin soul closed its eyes and summoned the heaven-defying bead. The heaven-defying bead condensed in his soul began to rotate. Wang Lin's origin soul, memories, and everything else began to shrink when the Thunder Essence true body entered his body. He temporarily retreated, leaving his body for the Thunder Essence true body to fuse with. Once the Essence true body completely fused with it, it would be time for Wang Lin to resist. This was the only way that Wang Lin could think of when he couldn't figure out why the true body of thunder was like this. Thunder rumbled in the green space and countless bolts of lightning spread out from the Thunder Essence true body. In the end, when the true body closed in on Wang Lin, it disintegrated and turned into even more bolts of lightning that entered Wang Lin's body. Under the will of the Devil Dao sect master, it swept through Wang Lin's body in an attempt to wipe away Wang Lin's mind. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 1 month had gone by. During that month, the lightning around Wang Lin's body gradually disappeared. He sat there cross-legged, not moving at all. There were no soul ripples or cultivation base fluctuations. In fact, even his life force seemed to have been extinguished. He was like a living corpse. A powerful divine sense whizzed in from the outside and carefully scanned Wang Lin's body before slowly leaving. At the same time, the Devil Dao sect master outside the Scorpion building opened his tired eyes. He looked at the Scorpion temple and his words slowly echoed. Priest, his mind, and memories have all been erased. His body is empty, but you can check it. If you're satisfied, then I'll leave. As the Devil Dao sect master spoke, a cough came from the green space. The old man covered in a green robe walked over weakly. He had used some unknown method to arrive here and stood before Wang Lin. Behind him were the 2 green devil messengers guarding him. Looking at Wang Lin, the old man revealed a satisfied smile. He raised his right hand and pressed it against Wang Lin's head. His right arm was extremely terrifying and was covered in green hair. It was shocking and didn't look like a human arm. The moment his right hand pressed down on Wang Lin's mind, which was protected by the heaven-defying bead, suddenly fluctuated. However, due to the protection of the heaven-defying bead, no one else was able to detect it. The Devil Dao sect master hasn't left. Now is not the time to resist. Wait a bit longer. The fluctuation in Wang Lin's body slowly calmed down. After a long time, the arm was lifted from Wang Lin's head. Shortly after, a hoarse voice came from the green-robed old man. You can go. Once Lord Green Devil revives, I won't forget what I promised you. Outside the Scorpion building, the Devil Dao sect master's eyes revealed a strange light. He looked at the Scorpion temple one last time before turning into a ray of light and disappearing. After the Devil Dao sect master left, the green-robed old man looked at Wang Lin with excitement in his eyes. The old man's family has waited for a long time. Generations of mortals have sacrificed their bodies. After countless years, they have finally found a body from another world like Lord Green Devil. Only this kind of body can be the opportunity for Lord Green Devil to revive. However, the Devil Dao sect master's memory is still needed to erase the thunder essence in this body. The old man excitedly looked at Wang Lin and muttered to himself. His voice was strange and crazy in this green space. Wang Lin's mind was hidden under the protection of the heaven-defying bead, so he didn't act rashly. He had a vague feeling that this crisis wasn't a life-or-death crisis, but a great fortune that made his heart pound. The green-robed old man trembled. His family had waited for this day for tens of thousands of years. At this moment, he took a deep breath and bit the tip of his finger. A drop of green blood flew out toward Wang Lin and landed between Wang Lin's eyebrows. The moment the drop of green blood landed between Wang Lin's eyebrows, a green ripple echoed inside Wang Lin's body. Wherever the ripple passed, the snow thunder essence and the will of the Devil Dao sect master immediately disappeared. The essence true body formed by the thunder essence no longer contained anyone else's will inside Wang Lin's body. As long as Wang Lin willed it, he could easily occupy it. However, for the greater fortune, he resisted this impulse and temptation. After a long time, the green-robed old man's eyes revealed a hint of wisdom. He didn't need to say those words before Wang Lin, he was just testing Wang Lin. To be able to become a priest of the Green Devil Scorpion Temple with the body of a mortal meant he was very smart. Even if he saw it with his own eyes, he wouldn't easily believe it. He first pointed it out with words and then erased the will of the Devil Dao sect master from the thunder essence. He wanted to see if Wang Lin's mind had truly disappeared. After waiting for a long time, the thunder essence inside Wang Lin's body didn't lure out Wang Lin's mind. Only then did the old man relax a bit. Although he couldn't detect the heaven-defying bead inside Wang Lin's body, he still muttered to himself, "This body is very good. This body is not bad. Next, it's time to accept Lord Green Devil's possession." As he spoke, his eyes narrowed and he slowly retreated. When he retreated hundreds of feet away, he suddenly shouted in a hoarse voice, "Green Devil guards, kill him! This person's mind is still here. Activate the Green Devil formation, we can't let him escape." The moment he spoke, he quickly retreated, but his eyes were locked onto Wang Lin's body and revealed a strange gaze. The moment he roared, the two Green Devil messengers revealed ferocious gazes and charged at Wang Lin from the left and right. Their hands formed seals and their mid-stage void turbulent cultivation erupted. They turned into two giant Green Devil scorpions that charged at Wang Lin. From the looks of it, this wasn't a test. They really wanted to kill Wang Lin. At this moment, Wang Lin only had one choice: spread out his mind and fuse with the thunder essence in his body. Then he would leave his will behind and use the Heavenly Bull soul armor to kill the three of them before quickly escaping. The green-robed old man's words were very sudden. If it was anyone else, they would have done this. However, Wang Lin's mind moved for a moment and he calmed down. He was like an ancient well without any ripples and remained motionless. He didn't believe that the other party could detect the heaven-defying bead. This was a competition of calculation. All of this happened in an instant. The spells of the two Green Devil messengers were less than 7 inches from Wang Lin, but his body still remained motionless. 6 inches, 5 inches, 3 inches, 1 inch. A powerful sense of forgetting about life and death spread out from Wang Lin's body. Even with his mental fortitude, he couldn't help but be shaken, but he still remained motionless. With a thunderous bang, the spells of the two Green Devil messengers landed on Wang Lin's body. However, the moment they landed, a green ripple appeared around Wang Lin's body. It gently offset the spells of the two Green Devil messengers and pushed them back. This green ripple was formed by the blood that the priest had squeezed out. Not only did the blood dissipate the Devil Dao sect master's will, it looked like it had disappeared, but it was still there. It was the key to the priest's test. Only at this moment did the green-robed old man relax and let out a hoarse laugh. However, as he laughed, he began to cough violently. There is no problem. This body indeed has no consciousness and mind, but his cultivation is still too weak. He still needs to be nurtured a bit to be able to withstand Lord Green Devil's descent. His 8 essences don't have earth, and Lord Green Devil's essence is earth. I need to add. This body has 8 essences, and with the earth, it will be 9 essences. Once the 9 essences are combined, it will be the body of essence, which is completely in line with Lord Green Devil's descent. When Lord Green Devil resurrects, the old man's family will have completed their mission and can return to the central continent to report, bringing good fortune to the future generations of my family. This matter is too big, I still need to prepare. The old man coughed and slowly left. The **** was about to begin, so he had to prepare his ears and think about the next series of plots. There was only 1 chapter today, so he had to make it up tomorrow. Chapter 1894. After the green-robed old man and the 2 green devil protectors left, Wang Lin's body sat there motionlessly. The green space gradually quieted down, and only countless rays of green light continued to flash. Within each ray of light was the shadow of a green scorpion, and they were densely packed together, filling up the entire space. Time slowly passed, and in the blink of an eye 3 months passed. During these 3 months, Wang Lin sat there calmly without any signs of life or movement. His body was covered by a large amount of green light, and if one looked closely, they would see that there were countless green scorpions crawling all over Wang Lin's body. These scorpions moved and spread across Wang Lin's body. During these 3 months, Wang Lin's origin soul, which was protected by the heaven-defying bead, quietly waited inside his body. He had enough patience to wait for this fortune that he could faintly feel. The green-robed old man was extremely suspicious. In Wang Lin's opinion, the green-robed old man wouldn't easily believe Wang Lin's judgment. It was likely that the green-robed old man would continue to test Wang Lin several more times until he was certain before giving Wang Lin a great fortune. Although Wang Lin couldn't guess what kind of test he would receive in the future, he was already prepared. Thus, with the protection of the heaven-defying bead, he calmly waited. Dealing with change was what Wang Lin was thinking right now. He allowed the green scorpions to cover his body. Even though a few of them entered his body through his mouth, nose, and ears, he didn't change at all. Time passed by without him realizing it. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. Soon, 1 year had passed since the green-robed old man left for Wang Lin. A cultivator at his level of cultivation could keep their body from rotting for 10,000 years. In just 1 year, his body didn't change at all. However, more and more green scorpions covered his body. Inside this green space, the scorpions seemed to have treated Wang Lin as a part of themselves. This place was like a prison filled with a gloomy aura. At this moment, anyone who saw the scene in the green space would be shocked. Wang Lin no longer existed. The only thing that existed was a human-shaped mound covered by scorpions. During this year, Wang Lin's origin soul didn't move at all inside the heaven-defying bead. During this year, the green-robed old man didn't appear again. It was as if he had forgotten about Wang Lin. The surroundings were dead silent, and no one came to the scorpion building. Everything gave birth to a strange aura in the silence. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. On the 4th day, inside the green scorpion building, Wang Lin's origin soul began to struggle. He had been waiting here for 4 years. However, during these 4 years, the green-robed old man didn't appear at all. As the green devil scorpions continued to cover his body, a strange change occurred. This change was the source of Wang Lin's struggle. Within the 108,000 pores on his body, tiny, egg-like green dots of light appeared. These dots of light appeared 2 years ago. Now that they had broken apart and absorbed Wang Lin's flesh, they turned into young scorpions. These scorpions used Wang Lin's body as their nest and nourishment to breed. Today, after 4 years, the number of scorpions in this green space had doubled. Not only did they cover Wang Lin's body, but the ground around him was also covered in a thick layer. It was a shocking scene. The appearance of the young scorpions caused Wang Lin's body, which had been indestructible for tens of thousands of years, to slowly wrinkle. As his body became nourishment, it also began to wither. According to this development, Wang Lin had a strong feeling that if he didn't do anything and didn't spread out his origin soul to control his body to leave, he would never be able to leave. He also understood why the green-robed old man didn't appear again and didn't test him. Because time was the best way to test someone. There was no better way to see through a matter and see through a fact than the passage of time. Wang Lin guessed that the old man was planning to use this time to test Wang Lin. If this test was to his liking, then he would carry out his final plan. If this test wasn't to his liking, then Wang Lin didn't know what the consequences would be. If nothing happened to his body and his body didn't wither, then Wang Lin could continue to wait. Even if it was 10 years, 100 years, or 1,000 years, if he really wanted to wait, then with his determination, he could grit his teeth and resist. But right now, the withering of his body forced Wang Lin to struggle. His firm belief couldn't help but be shaken because all of this was just his speculation. He didn't have any concrete evidence to prove it. If he made a mistake and didn't leave now, then not only would his body completely wither, but he would also miss the real opportunity and die here. Similarly, if he made a mistake, then he would lose a great fortune and opportunity. This was a choice that made Wang Lin struggle with it. This struggle lasted for 1 year, which was Wang Lin's 5th year in the green space, before it dissipated. Wang Lin decisively cut off all distracting thought. With a sense of madness and confidence in his speculation, he calmly waited. The 6th year, the 7th year, the 8th year. Wang Lin's body withered on a large scale, but his mind didn't move. The 9th year, the 10th year. His body was surrounded by a large amount of scorpions, and there was no longer any nutrients left. He was as thin as a skeleton and looked like he could collapse from the slightest gust of wind. However, Wang Lin was still waiting. 10 years. He had been waiting in the green space for 10 years. During these 10 years, he didn't know what had happened outside. He didn't know if the war between the Heavenly Bull continent and the Green Devil continent was still going on or if there was an outcome. During these 10 years, Wang Lin's origin soul didn't control his body. He was completely under the protection of the heaven-defying bead. He was going to use his great persistence to gamble. What supported his belief was his judgment and analysis. The green-robed old man was obviously immortal, but Wang Lin felt a sense of terror from him. Even the Devil Dao Sect's sect master was so polite to him. Wang Lin believed that if he acted recklessly, he would face great danger. There were too many secrets he didn't know about in the Green Devil Scorpion Temple. Most importantly, because the green-robed old man was immortal, his lifespan wouldn't be too long. This time, it was a competition of mutual patience. However, the premise was that Wang Lin's speculation was correct. At this moment, he didn't know that there was a cave inside the giant scorpion building. Inside the cave, the green-robed old man was calmly sitting there, looking ahead. Before him was a green mirror that reflected everything inside the green space Wang Lin was in. During these 10 years of time, not only had Wang Lin been waiting, but the green-robed old man had also been waiting. His lifespan was limited. Although he could live a bit longer through secret spells, each generation of priests could only live for 3,000 years at most. He was already more than 2,800 years old and was very close to death. Time is the best way to see the truth. Even if my actions are a bit redundant, for the sake of Lord Green Devil's safety, I have to do this. I want to see if this person has really lost his mind or is faking it. He didn't lack patience. He had lived inside the Scorpion building for more than 2,000 years. He had become accustomed to the flow of time, and counting the years had become an instinct. 3 years, 3 years, 4 years. The second 10 years passed as he and Wang Lin waited. This was an extremely cruel battle, far more cruel than a battle between ordinary cultivators. This was because this time they were competing against time. This battle of time was silent and without any smoke or fire, but it contained great determination and danger. The green-robed old man and his family had prepared for countless years, and he couldn't afford to lose. Wang Lin also couldn't afford to lose. Right now, even his bones were becoming weak. If not for his ancient Tao body, his body would have been completely wasted a few more years ago. This green space was mostly covered by green scorpions. Their fir trees gave off a green glow as they moved through the space. During these 20 years of time, Wang Lin's mind wasn't moved. He was immersed in the constant affirmation of his belief. This was a rare gamble in his life. I will never lose. This sentence had supported Wang Lin for nearly 20 years. Time was sometimes extremely long, but most of the time it was like the autumn leaves falling from the sky. It seemed like it had experienced the changes of the 4 seasons, but in truth it was only a short journey. In the blink of an eye, another 20 years passed. Wang Lin rarely stayed in one place for 40 years. He also gave up his body, and his origin soul seemed to have returned to silence. His body, even with his ancient Tao body, showed signs of complete death after 40 years. The green-robed old man was still waiting. Aside from living a normal life, he had spent most of his time silently looking at the mirror and waiting. 40 years, 40 years. Unknowingly, after Wang Lin had gotten used to it, a full 80 years had passed. On this day, the green-robed old man's eyes, which were hidden under his robe, revealed a hint of hesitation. He didn't believe anyone could remain sane and endure for 80 years. Most importantly, he didn't have much lifespan left. Before him was Wang Lin's choice, to wait or not to wait. Chapter 1895. He chose to wait. He still had nearly 60 years of lifespan, and he didn't want to spend his last 50 years sacrificing the tribute his family had prepared for generations to someone else. 80 years of time was enough for a person's entire life. However, Wang Lin spent these 80 years inside the Green Devil Scorpion Temple. During these 80 years, he couldn't absorb any origin energy and couldn't cultivate. He could only silently wait under the protection of the heaven-defying bead. As he waited, he seemed to become an old man. Many things and memories seemed to become blurry. It was as if there was a layer of fog that made it impossible to see clearly. Or perhaps it was more accurate to say that it was covered in dust. He forgot a lot. Whether it was the cave world, the heavenly bull continent, or even the danger he was in, he slowly forgot about it. He was in an indescribable state, as if he had merged with the world and become part of it. However, it wasn't like he was using spatial bending. However, there were still a few figures in his mind that he couldn't forget no matter how hard he tried. He didn't want to forget them. Among those figures were his parents, as well as the woman who silently played the zither with a gentle smile on her face. Some people, after a long life, forget the purpose of their reincarnation. Some people, after living an ordinary life, only when they look at the stars before their death do they remember that they have lost their pursuit. Some people, after overturning the entire world, perhaps just to find a figure, even if it was only a reflection, they would reverse the heavens and correct it. Time passed. This time, it wasn't 40 years, but 30 years. During Wang Lin's 110 years of waiting inside the Scorpion Temple, the green-robed old man made a choice. He could no longer wait. He only had less than 30 years of lifespan left, and he didn't need to wait any longer. There was no need to test. He didn't believe that someone could sit like this for 110 years. This was not meditation, this was not closed-door cultivation, this was walking toward death. He saw that Wang Lin's body had been completely wasted. If he hadn't been prepared, he would have been destroyed by the countless green devil scorpions. If his origin soul was still there, the moment his body died, his origin soul would be devoured by the scorpions and become nutrients. He didn't believe anyone could endure this torture at the cost of death. On this day, on the 110th year, the green-robed old man slowly stood up and his coughing became even more intense. He walked toward the space where Wang Lin was accompanied by the two green devil messengers. Not long after, the sound of coughing faded into the distance and slowly weakened within the scorpion building. Ripples echoed inside the green space, and the green-robed old man weakly walked out. He looked at Wang Lin, who was covered in scorpions and could no longer be seen. He pondered for a bit. "I don't know if you can hear my voice. If you can, then the old man admires your patience. To be able to endure for more than 100 years in such an environment, the old man can't do it. The war between the Heavenly Bull continent and the Green Devil continent has reached its final stage, according to the Green Devil messengers." The green-robed old man spoke slowly, and when he reached this point, he paused. After a long time, his voice echoed inside the green space once more. "If you can hear me, if you are really enduring, then I hope that after you obtain the fortune, you won't make things difficult for the Green Devil continent. If you can do this, even if you still have your consciousness, the old man will not hesitate to give you the fortune," the green-robed old man murmured. His words were filled with age and exhaustion. "I am already very old. I will die in a few decades. These years have been very, very tiring. The mission of my clan is to protect this place. After I die, I hope that you can promise to send the ashes of my clan's worshippers buried under this scorpion temple to the Central Plains, because that is the home of my clan." The old man's words revealed a sense of melancholy. It was as if he was saying his last words before he died, revealing an indescribable sincerity. But, in his right hand, which was hidden beneath his robe, was a jade slip. It was green in color, and didn't require a cultivation base to activate. Only the priestesses of the past could use it. Its primary function, aside from the ability to destroy, was to sense the fluctuations of the mind in the area. If Wang Lin's mind had wavered at all, he would have killed Wang Lin with the jade without hesitation. He would not have been as gentle as he had said. This was his final test. A long time after he finished speaking, there was no reaction from the jade in his hand. The green-robed old man let out a sigh of relief and put away the jade. He looked up at the large amount of green scorpions below and suddenly bit the tip of his tongue to cough out a mouthful of blood. The moment his blood appeared, it immediately fell to the ground. All the scorpions in the green space hissed and retreated like crazy. Wang Lin's withered body was revealed, as if it had been reunited with the sun. 8 essences, still missing one, the old man murmured. He suddenly raised his right hand and extended it out of his robe. His right arm was covered in green fur, and his arm was withered and gave off the smell of decay. At this moment, all the green fur on his arm fell off and a yellow light covered his right arm. His arm slowly melted and 3 earth-yellow beads floated out. With these 3 Meng earth beads, you should be able to condense the earth essences. The old man gasped for breath and waved his left hand. The 3 beads flew toward Wang Lin's body. One entered between his eyebrows, one entered his chest, and the last disappeared into his dantian. The moment the 3 beads entered Wang Lin's body trembled and a bright earth-yellow light came from his body. The light spread out and caused the surrounding scorpions to retreat as if they were very sensitive to the light. The light continued to shine for a few hours before a layer of dirt covered Wang Lin's body. After being covered by the dirt, Wang Lin looked like a man made of mud and remained motionless. Time passed, but the green-robed old man didn't leave. He sat down and looked at Wang Lin's body with a serious expression. The dream of his clan for tens of thousands of years had finally come true. This was very important to him. 3 days later, the thin layer of dirt covering Wang Lin's body still hadn't changed. This caused the green-robed old man to be surprised. 3 Meng earth beads aren't enough. They can only make the earth essence in his body reach initial success. The old man frowned. In silence, he lifted his left hand and pressed it against the center of his brows. As he pulled, he used a special method to pull out 3 grains of sand from his body. The 3 grains of sand were dark red, as if they were stained with blood. Looking at the 3 grains of sand in his hand, the old man let out a sigh. This was something his clan had spent a lot of effort to collect over countless years. It contained a large amount of earth essence energy. Rumor had it that these 3 grains of sand were 3 of the 9 grains of earth essence that appeared when the celestial ancestor created the first continent. Of those 9 grains of sand, apart from these 3, of the other 6, 5 were absorbed by others and turned into earth source energy. The last one turned into a continent, and Central Continent Imperial City was built on it. This item was extremely precious, and even those who saw it with their own eyes rarely saw it. Without any hesitation, the old man waved his left hand and a grain of sand flew toward Wang Lin. The moment the grain of sand entered Wang Lin's body, a rumble came from Wang Lin's body. The thin layer of dirt around his body rapidly increased in size. In the blink of an eye, it surrounded Wang Lin's body and formed a 90-foot ball of dirt. The ball of dirt gave off an extremely dense amount of earth essence energy. After 9 days, it rapidly shrank. Just as it disappeared, it once again spread out from Wang Lin's body. This happened 8 times before it lost its effect. However, the moment it lost its effect, the green-robed old man sent out a second grain of sand. It entered Wang Lin's body, and with a loud rumble, the earth essence aura around Wang Lin's body began to circulate once more. This time, it went through 9 cycles. When the 9th cycle was complete, Wang Lin's body began to emanate vast amounts of earth essence energy. Shockingly, he now had a 9th essence. However, things weren't over yet. After the 9th essence appeared, the essence power within the sand didn't completely dissipate. Instead, it poured into the 9th essence and then shot toward the essence true body. The green-robed old man's expression was one of excitement as he rose to his feet. He waved his left hand, causing the 3rd grain of sand to shoot toward Wang Lin. As soon as it entered Wang Lin's body, the earth essence power within him increased dramatically. In the blink of an eye, Wang Lin's withered body recovered, and all of his injuries were completely reversed. His earth essence expanded, absorbing all of the essence power from the 3rd grain of sand. Shockingly, Wang Lin's 3rd essence true body began to form. However, without Wang Lin's will fused with it, this essence true body couldn't form. However, as long as Wang Lin's nascent soul emerged from the protection of the heaven-defying bead, he would be able to occupy both the earth essence and thunder essence true bodies. From then on, he would have 3 essence true bodies. With 3 essence true bodies, even if his cultivation level was still at the peak of spirit void, his strength would increase several-fold. Not to mention that Wang Lin now had 9 essences. As soon as his nascent soul appeared, he would immediately use these 9 essences to reach the arcane void realm. In this person's body, there are 3 ethereal essences, 2 special essences, and the remaining 4 are all corporeal essences. I can't make the special and ethereal essences form a true body, but I can make the 4 corporeal essences form a true body. The green-robed old man was excited. I'm going to bring my wife home. The 3rd one will be made up before midnight. Please wait for a while. Also, the recommendation votes are very few, very few. I sincerely ask for recommendation votes. Chapter 1896. The things the Old Man clan has prepared for all these years can finally be used. The green-robed old man's eyes lit up and he raised his left hand to hit many parts of his body. Every time he hit his body, several strange things would fly out from his body and float around him, giving off a dazzling glow. His body was like a bag of holding that contained a large amount of things his clan had prepared over the countless years. These were all prepared for the resurrection of the green devil scorpion, and they had been sealed in the bodies of generations of priests through a special method. Aside from their own will, no one else could take them out. Perhaps only someone at the Grand Empyrean level could do this. This person's body is obviously from the ancient Dao clan. However, the ancient Dao's body is strong, but not tough enough. I'll use this 90,000-year-old celestial tree branch to make this body extremely difficult to destroy. The green-robed old man's left hand reached at the void and grabbed a black branch that gave off an ancient aura. This thing was extremely rare on the immortal astral continent. Their clan had paid a great price to obtain it. At this moment, he didn't hesitate to throw the branch at Wang Lin. The branch gave off origin energy and shot toward Wang Lin's body. The moment it closed in, the branch exploded into black powder that surrounded Wang Lin's body. As the powder spread, it seemed to have a life of its own and formed illusory threads that drilled into Wang Lin's pores. They fused with his body and formed a dense net inside Wang Lin's body. This net was connected to Wang Lin's flesh and blood, and it was buried deep inside Wang Lin's body. Popping sounds came from his body and his body moved strangely, giving off an extremely tough feeling. This body was beyond the body of an ordinary ancient clan member. Not only was it extremely strong, it was also tough and extremely difficult to destroy. This person's eyes are not sharp enough and he doesn't have the heavenly might to suppress others. No matter how strong this body is, it lacks the powerful aura of the heavens. I'll use this sword fragment that was destroyed by Lord Green Devil's scorpion tail during the last years of the celestial ancestor to condense majesty for this body. From now on, this person can suppress a cultivator with just one gaze. The green-robed old man seemed to be possessed and his eyes were filled with madness. He waved his left hand and the palm-sized piece of gold before him flew at Wang Lin. It was unknown what this piece of gold was refined from. It was like gold, and like gold. There were also countless dark runes on it that could not be seen clearly, but there was an extremely sharp aura surrounding it. The moment it spread out, the green space was instantly filled with endless sword chi. As the sword aura whistled through the air, it swept through the entire green space, causing almost all of the green light to collapse. The scorpions formed by the green light let out piercing screeches, as if they were incredibly afraid of the golden shard. The golden fragment closed in and melted into Wang Lin's body. It turned into a golden aura that spread to every part of his body. At this instant, the might of the heavens erupted from Wang Lin's body. This pressure seemed to be corporeal and was filled with a powerful pressure that caused the old man's body to tremble. At this moment, Wang Lin's origin soul wasn't controlling his body. Otherwise, with his origin soul cultivation, this pressure would be earth-shattering. The expressions of the two green devil messengers behind the old man changed. They looked at Wang Lin's body with extremely solemn expressions. This person's meridians might belong to the ancient clan, but Lord Green Devil's body is stronger than that of the ancient clan, and his cultivation is stronger than that of the celestial clan. Because of this person's body is still not enough. Although I can't make his celestial and ancient meridians fuse together, the purer his bloodline is, the more it will reject celestial spiritual energy. If I want it to not reject celestial spiritual energy, I need to open a separate meridian. Only then will Lord Green Devil's cultivation reach its peak once he descends. As the green-robed old man muttered, the madness in his eyes became even stronger. He waved his sleeve and 4 leaves, 6 pills that gave off a hazy feeling, a red line of blood, and 3 gray stones appeared before Wang Lin. Each of these items was extremely precious, and if they were taken out, it would cause countless cultivators to fight for them. However, at this moment, the green-robed old man didn't feel any heartache and threw them at Wang Lin. They collapsed before Wang Lin and turned into dust that fused with his body. Among these items, the red line was the most precious. Rumor had it that it was a strand of hair from the celestial ancestor. It looked ordinary, but it was very difficult for anything sharp in the world to cut it. After it fused with Wang Lin's body, the strand of hair fused with Wang Lin's flesh and blood. It slowly turned into a cycle, and the moment it connected, a second meridian appeared in Wang Lin's body. With the power of this meridian, Wang Lin only needed his origin soul to leave the protection of the heaven-defying bead and control his body to cast the spells of the Ji clan and the Celestial clan at the same time. He would become someone who had never been able to do this before. Even with Wang Lin's mental fortitude, he was shocked by the green-robed old man's madness. However, this was far from the end. The green-robed old man's clan would not have only prepared this much. Once Lord Green Devil is resurrected, he will need a sharp treasure that can cut open the world. It won't be good if it is an external treasure, but an internal treasure will attract Lord Green Devil's attention. My clan has been collecting and preparing for countless years, and now we have found more than 90,000 soft-een materials. We have also used various methods to obtain the souls of 20 suppressed spirits of the 9 continents and refine them into a een blade. This blade hasn't gone through the immortal astral divine calamity yet. Once it succeeds, it will become an annihilation treasure that will tempt even grand Empyreans. The green-robed old man's eyes revealed a red glow, and he waved his left hand. A cold fog surrounded him and shot toward Wang Lin. One could vaguely see an invisible blade inside the fog. The shape of the saber was like a curved spine. It looked shocking. There is no storage space that can hold a treasure of this level, only a part of the body can be fused with. This person's body is destined to be occupied by Lord Green Devil, so I'll use his right hand as the root to plant this een blade. From now on, this blade will become famous across the immortal astral continent. As the green-robed old man went crazy, the fog quickly entered Wang Lin's body and gathered on Wang Lin's right arm. This caused Wang Lin's right arm to turn black and was covered in a layer of black frost. This frost was as cold as 10,000-year-old profound ice. With a cracking sound, a 9-foot-long blade grew out of the palm of Wang Lin's right hand. Chapter 1897. The moment the blade appeared, it was as if a storm was set off in this green space. The storm howled and the cold aura was oppressive. The entire space was covered in ice. It was unknown what the green-robed old man's robe was, but the moment the cold aura closed in, it was blocked. However, the 2 green devil messengers behind him didn't have such a mysterious treasure. When the cold aura closed in, their expressions changed greatly and they retreated a few steps. Their bodies were covered in ice, and even their eyebrows were covered in ice. Their faces were pale as they retreated. They let out roars and cycled their cultivation to barely resist the cold aura. Furthermore, this een blade had no owner right now. If Wang Lin's origin soul was open and he placed his will on the blade, then his cultivation level would increase greatly with the help of the soul armor. Once this blade appeared, it would shock the heavens and make ghosts cry. In fact, he could even summon the suppression souls of the 29 continents with a single slash. The 2 green devil messengers found it difficult to resist. Even against late-stage void turbulent cultivators, this blade wouldn't be at a disadvantage. Only Lord Green Devil is worthy of such a een blade. The green-robed old man's face was strangely red and his eyes were filled with excitement. He watched the een blade slowly shrink back from Wang Lin's right hand until it disappeared from Wang Lin's palm. He couldn't help but laugh. As he laughed, he began to cough violently. Blood even came out of the corner of his mouth. He was too old and was almost at the end of his life. My body has gained a 9th essence, my body has gained toughness, my eyes have gained suppression, a meridian formed by the celestial ancestor's hair, and my right hand has gained a blade of extreme een. This body is almost perfect. However, he only has 3 essence true bodies and is still missing a water essence body. I'll use my clan's tens of thousands of years of preparation to form the 4th essence true body for this body. As the green-robed old man muttered, he waved his left sleeve, and the items floating around him gave off a dazzling light. Immortal Sea Soul Mother. As the old man's voice echoed in the air, a ball of ghostly light flashed. There was a ball of extremely pure water essence energy spreading out from it. It was impossible to see what was inside, but the aura of this essence was so powerful that it caused ripples to appear in the green space around the cage. This item was something that the old man's clan had not hesitated to start a war to obtain. It was all for the sake of offering this item to the green demon scorpion when it was revived so that it could heal its injuries. But at this moment, the old man did not hesitate at all. For the sake of making Wang Lin's body perfect, he immediately took it out. Mortal Dream Water. The green-robed old man waved his left hand, and a second floating object flew out, heading straight for Wang Lin. It was a black porcelain bottle, and there was only a drop of water inside. This item was extremely precious. Over the years, the old man's clan had collected the dreams of mortals, then planted it. After countless years, they had collected the water from the dreams of mortals to form it. This item was illusory, but it contained the essence of water. Tao Heart Liquid Fusion. Blood of the Water Immortal. Water of Heaven and Earth. As the green-robed old man roared, the floating objects around him flew out one by one. When they approached Wang Lin, they all exploded and charged toward Wang Lin's body. They rapidly entered his body and fused with his still-congealed blood, emitting a dense amount of water essence energy. This caused the water essence in Wang Lin's body to increase rapidly. This sort of increase was something that Wang Lin had only experienced when he was in the illusory Donglin pool in the core of the cave. He looked at his own water essence, and in an indescribable manner, it was taking great strides toward the true body of water essence. Every single one of the objects that allowed his water essence to increase explosively was extremely rare. If Wang Lin wanted to obtain them himself, it would most likely take him at least 1,000 years. In fact, some of the objects were so rare that it was impossible to find any clues about them. But at this moment, in this moment of good fortune, they suddenly appeared before Wang Lin and fused into his body. His water origin true body suddenly formed a silhouette in his body, becoming more and more solid. However, it was still a bit away from forming a true body. But since the green-robed old man was confident in forming a 4th true body for Wang Lin's body, then he was confident enough. He bit the tip of his tongue and coughed up a large mouthful of blood. When the blood appeared, his body, hidden under the green robe, began to tremble. This blood contained the power of his clan's inheritance. In addition, this mouthful of blood contained 8 years of his lifespan. It turned into a blood mist that surrounded Wang Lin's body. However, the old man wasn't finished. He gritted his teeth and coughed up another mouthful of blood, using up another 8 years of his lifespan. The 2 mouthfuls of blood contained the power of the green-robed old man's clan inheritance, as well as traces of his life force. As soon as they fused into Wang Lin's body, a tremor ran through Wang Lin's body. The water essence inside of him rapidly gathered together, causing Wang Lin's blood to rapidly circulate. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, several months went by. One day, Wang Lin's body erupted with a shocking water essence aura. As the aura converged, a 4th true body appeared inside of him. This was a water essence true body. At the moment, this true body seemed to be sleeping, and had no will within it. However, with a single thought from Wang Lin, he could control it, and its might would be that of an almighty being of heaven and earth. And yet, he was still waiting. In this competition of time, Wang Lin had one part of it. If he wanted to continue winning, he would have to continue waiting. He wouldn't be tempted by anything and would fight until the end. The green-robed old man's clan had prepared for countless years. More than half of them had been used on Wang Lin, and only 4 or 5 of them were left floating there, emitting a gentle light. However, the face under the old man's robe was filled with ferociousness and excitement. He seemed to have forgotten that he only had less than 15 years of life left, forgotten the price he had paid, and forgotten his exhaustion. The only thought in his mind was to personally see Lord Green Devil descend, and see the Green Devil Scorpion revive. This body is already perfect, and I believe Lord Green Devil will like it. Next, I will nourish and refine it. This body will complete the final preparations for Lord Green Devil's possession, and transform it into a scorpion body that is completely suitable for Lord Green Devil. The green-robed old man waved his left sleeve, and all the things floating around flew toward Wang Lin. They exploded into dust and surrounded Wang Lin. The green space suddenly trembled, and the countless scorpions collapsed into specks of green light that flew toward Wang Lin. The moment they filled the area, the green space suddenly shrank and gathered toward Wang Lin. In the end, it turned into a giant green pill furnace around Wang Lin's body. This furnace was 10,000 feet wide, and looked like the furnace of heaven and earth. It was completely green and contained a large amount of the aura of the green scorpion. It also contained the remaining rare items of the green-robed old man. All of them gathered together to form the Green Devil Furnace that was going to transform Wang Lin's body. Green Devil Messengers, turn your cultivation bases into fire and light the furnace for the old man. The green-robed old man coughed, and his hoarse voice was filled with excitement. The 2 green devil messengers beside him didn't hesitate. They took a step forward and sat down beside the green devil furnace. Their hands formed seals, and their origin souls floated up from the top of their heads. They spat out a large amount of origin soul aura toward the furnace. They were going to turn that aura into fire to burn the furnace. The moment the green devil furnace surrounded Wang Lin's body trembled. Popping sounds spread out from his body, and as they filled the area, wisps of green smoke seeped into Wang Lin's body from all directions. Each wisp of green smoke contained a wave of pure power of the world. This was not the aura of the ancient clan or the celestial clan, but a type of power of the world. This power belonged to the green devil scorpion, but it also belonged to Wang Lin. Endless strands of power of the world rushed into Wang Lin's body like crazy and continued to accumulate. Wang Lin's body was like a bottomless pit that absorbed all of this aura. His origin soul was protected by the heaven-defying bead as it stared at the increasing amount of power of the world in his body. His eyes were filled with excitement, but he forced himself not to absorb it. At this moment, as long as he willed it, his nascent spirit would control his body and he would be able to absorb the power of the world, causing his cultivation to rapidly increase. However, he was still waiting. He was waiting for even more power of the world to fuse into his body. He had waited for more than 100 years just for this great fortune. If his origin soul appeared early, the outside world would notice and this fortune would decrease a lot. As time passed, more and more power of the world entered his body. In the end, it covered every inch of his body, but Wang Lin was still waiting. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. In the blink of an eye, 10 years had passed. During these 10 years, the green-robed old man sat cross-legged outside the green demon furnace. His eyes were bloodshot as he stared at the furnace. He had spent his entire life on this matter. His lifespan was running out and his body was extremely weak. However, he wanted to persevere. He wanted to see the moment the green demon was resurrected. Even at this moment, outside the Scorpion building, 3 rays of light appeared in the fog that no one had appeared for more than 100 years. The green-robed old man didn't care. The 3 rays of light were extremely careful as they slowly closed in. Within the light were 3 people that Wang Lin recognized. They were the other 3 people with the heavenly bull soul armor. For some reason, the Gui sect master's plan had been delayed for more than 100 years. Chapter 1898. Outside the Green Devil furnace, after 10 years, the two Green Devil messengers that had continuously spat out origin energy became extremely weak and dim, as if they couldn't withstand it anymore. After a few days, one of the Green Devil messengers spat out the last origin energy and dissipated. His body lost its luster and fell to the side. He was completely dead. Less than half an incense stick of time after he died, the origin soul of the other Green Devil messenger also dimmed and dissipated. The deaths of the two Green Devil messengers, who had accompanied the green-robed old man for many years, did not attract the old man's attention at all. At this moment, the old man's body gave off the smell of decay, and he was in a half-dead state. If not for the willpower supporting him, he would have died a long time ago. His eyes were bloodshot. The excitement that had lasted for 10 years hadn't lessened due to the passage of time. Instead, it had increased until now, when it completely erupted. His weak body went from sitting to kneeling. He looked up and his old face was filled with excitement as he spoke in a hoarse voice. As a Green Devil priest of my clan, I ask Lord Green Devil to awaken and descend. This old servant offers this body to Lord Green Devil for possession and resurrection. As the old man spoke, an ancient incantation echoed from his mouth. The incantation could not be heard clearly, but it gradually enveloped the surroundings and spread in all directions. Slowly, the entire Scorpion building began to tremble. As dust flew into the air, an extremely powerful aura of a soul slowly spread out from the Scorpion building, as if it had awakened. The green-robed old man raised his head in excitement and looked at the sky. As the Scorpion building continued to tremble, 9 wisps of green aura rushed over from 9 different directions. The 9 wisps of green aura gathered above the green furnace and turned into a huge illusory shadow. This illusory shadow was tens of thousands of feet large, and it was a green scorpion. This scorpion was covered in scars and its aura was weak, but it gave off an indescribable pressure. Under this pressure, the entire Green Devil continent trembled. That illusory image was a part of the Green Devil Scorpion's suppressed soul. Its true soul was incapable of escaping, and what was being condensed was only a sub-soul. Once it possessed a fleshly body, it would be able to think of a way to absorb its suppressed true soul, and then achieve true resurrection. The gigantic Scorpion soul shadow slowly opened its eyes that had been closed for countless years. There was a coldness and emotionlessness in its eyes, as well as a supreme might. It swept its gaze across the area below. "You're the one who summoned my true self." An extremely cold voice echoed in the world. That voice was like the law of the world, and it immediately shook the heavens the moment it appeared. However, even then, it couldn't conceal the weakness of the Scorpion soul. It was so weak that it seemed like it could collapse with a gust of wind under this supreme pressure. The green-robed old man trembled and kowtowed to the soul shadow. "This old servant greets Lord Green Devil. Lord Green Devil, this old servant has prepared a perfect body for Lord to possess and resurrect. This person no longer has any intelligence or origin soul, so it won't affect Lord's descent at all." The green-robed old man was filled with endless excitement, and his voice was no longer hoarse. He knew that the Green Devil Scorpion was extremely weak after being suppressed, and now that a subsoul had appeared, he couldn't allow anything to go wrong. This was why he had tested it many times before. If there was still an origin soul in the body, there would be a problem with the Green Devil Scorpion's possession. Such an unforeseen event could very well cause the already weakened Green Demon Scorpion to be severely injured. As the green-robed old man's words echoed, the Green Devil Scorpion soul shadow turned slightly and looked at the green furnace below. Its gaze seemed solid and directly saw Wang Lin inside the furnace. Its gaze swept past Wang Lin's body 9 times in a row and went deep into his body. However, even it couldn't feel the existence of the heaven-defying bead, nor did it find Wang Lin's origin soul hidden by the heaven-defying bead. After a long time, the giant green devil scorpion soul withdrew its gaze. The green-robed old man knelt there and excitedly said, "Lord Green Devil, this old servant has completed the transformation of this body. It meets your requirements, and there is no origin soul left. You are very good. After my original body is resurrected, there will be a reward." The giant scorpion soul shadow in the sky gave off waves of fluctuations before it suddenly moved. Its body turned into a ghostly light and charged toward the green furnace. It passed through the furnace and charged toward Wang Lin. In an instant it closed in. Wang Lin's origin soul, hidden under the heaven-defying bead, still didn't move. During these 10 years, he had been waiting. Not only was he waiting for the good fortune of his body, but he was also waiting for a bold idea. The green-robed old man had been so cautious and had tested him many times. This was enough to show that if there was an origin soul inside the body, the possession would fail, and the green devil scorpion wouldn't be able to resurrect. Since that was the case, he would gamble to the end. He had been waiting for the green devil scorpion to arrive. The green devil scorpion wanted to devour him, but he was going to devour it. The scorpion soul looked powerful, but in truth, it had already been seriously injured and suppressed. Furthermore, it was only a fragment of its soul. The green devil scorpion soul closed in, but it didn't immediately enter Wang Lin's body to occupy it. Instead, it spread out and scanned Wang Lin's body several times with its divine scent. Only then did it relax and charge toward Wang Lin's body from all directions. In the blink of an eye, the green devil scorpion soul had entered Wang Lin's body. However, it didn't immediately attempt to possess him. After entering Wang Lin's body, it continued to observe him. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had gone by. After observing for 3 days, the green devil scorpion soul sent more scorpion souls into Wang Lin's body. They slowly spread out, and from the look of it, it seemed that the slightest clue would cause it to flee at top speed. It couldn't see Wang Lin's nascent divinity, but Wang Lin could see it. Wang Lin watched as the scorpion soul spread out through his fleshly body. However, it still didn't attempt to possess him. Clearly, the scorpion's cautiousness had reached its limit. This also meant that it was extremely weak. Wang Lin's nascent divinity didn't move. He was waiting. If he made a move now, the scorpion soul would be able to leave easily. However, if it attempted to possess him, it wouldn't be able to leave easily. That would be his best opportunity. Wang Lin's nascent divinity eyes shone with a cold light. He wasn't sure what his cultivation base would be like after he consumed the scorpion soul, but he had the feeling that it would be an incredible stroke of good fortune for him. He was patient enough to use his body as bait to gain this stroke of good fortune. Outside of the green devil furnace, the green-robed old man waited excitedly. He was waiting for the green devil scorpion to complete its possession and come back to life. If he could see that happen, he would smile in the underworld. The green devil scorpion seemed to lose its patience after 7 days, and a large amount of its soul entered Wang Lin's body. It occupied more and more of Wang Lin's body until it occupied 70% of Wang Lin's body. It gradually relaxed and began its possession. The soul that entered Wang Lin's body seemed to boil and spread like crazy toward Wang Lin's mind. When it entered Wang Lin's mind, it found no trace of an origin soul and immediately became excited. It had waited for so many years for this perfect body. It could finally begin its possession. It has to be said that even if a cultivator from the immortal astral continent didn't have an origin soul, it couldn't possess them. Because they were born here, it could only possess the body of a cultivator from another world. At this moment, it no longer held back, and a large amount of its soul entered Wang Lin's body. The figure of a scorpion slowly formed in Wang Lin's mind. Once this figure completely formed, it would complete its possession. However, just as this figure was halfway formed, Wang Lin's origin soul, which was hidden by the heaven-defying bead, suddenly burst out from the heaven-defying bead. The moment it appeared, Wang Lin charged at the head of the body, where the scorpion soul was. He closed in and began to devour the scorpion soul. There were no spells, only pure devouring. The scorpion soul let out a scream. It didn't expect there to be an origin soul inside this body, and it was shocked by Wang Lin's sudden appearance. Although it was extremely weak, as Wang Lin devoured it, it became ferocious and began to resist. It began to devour like crazy with Wang Lin's origin soul inside the body. However, it wasn't prepared at all, while Wang Lin had prepared for more than 100 years. As he devoured, Wang Lin became even more crazy and desperately devoured. Time passed. After one incense stick of time, the devouring between Wang Lin and the scorpion soul had reached an extremely dangerous degree. The scorpion soul continued to scream. It was already weak, and it had come as a part of its soul. Compared to the crazy devouring that Wang Lin had prepared for more than 100 years, it was gradually losing out. The dangerous scene happening inside Wang Lin's body couldn't be felt by outsiders. The green-robed old man was excitedly looking at the green furnace. He looked at the green devil, which had more than half of its soul inside, trembling violently. This scene startled the green-robed old man. He couldn't imagine why the exalted green devil's possession would tremble like this. From the look of it, it didn't look good. However, the green-robed old man quickly understood. The exalted one must not be too satisfied with the transformation of the fleshly body, and wants to transform it again during the possession. The more the old man thought about it, the more convinced he was. Gradually, a smile appeared on his face. The fact that the exalted green devil had personally transformed the fleshly body showed how valuable it was. He smiled as he looked at the trembling scorpion soul atop the green devil furnace, and his smile grew even wider. Within Wang Lin's body, Wang Lin and the scorpion soul had already devoured tens of thousands of times. He was growing more and more crazy. After preparing for more than 100 years, the good fortune had finally arrived. How could he possibly let go of the scorpion soul that was trying to possess him? Wang Lin's madness filled the scorpion soul with intense fear. It was weak to begin with, and as it continued to devour, it began to want to flee. This strand of its soul had taken countless years to form, and it was extremely important to it. Once it dissipated, it would never have a chance to awaken again. It hated the Ji clan down to its bones, and as far as it was concerned, all of this was because of the Ji clan. The scorpion's soul let out a soundless shriek as it retreated. However, Wang Lin refused to let it go, and continued to devour it. His madness caused the scorpion's soul to grow more and more terrified. It retreated at top speed, and finally managed to leave Wang Lin's head. Just as it was about to charge out of Wang Lin's body, Wang Lin devoured a huge mouthful of it. It let out a blood-curdling scream as it burrowed out of the top of Wang Lin's head. Its enormous body had already shrunk down to about half its original size. After emerging from the top of Wang Lin's head, the scorpion soul shot up into the sky in a panic. When the green-robed old man saw this, he gaped in shock, and a look of confusion appeared on his face. After the scorpion's soul left, Wang Lin's nascent divinity spread out to cover him. His eyes, which had been sitting cross-legged in the green devil furnace for more than 100 years, suddenly opened. The instant his eyes opened, heaven and earth rumbled, and the green devil furnace collapsed into countless fragments. At the same time, Wang Lin leaped up into the air. Fire true body! Wang Lin let out a roar. The sea of fire in his left eye formed a fire true body that was exactly the same as his body. Thunder true body! As Wang Lin spoke, lightning flashed in his right eye. The thunder true body formed by the Devil Dao sect master merged with Wang Lin's will and appeared behind him. Earth true body! Wang Lin let out a roar and the 108,000 pores on his body gave off a shocking yellow light. The yellow light gathered behind him and formed a third essence true body. Water essence true body. This water essence true body fused with Wang Lin's blood. As he spoke, the veins on Wang Lin's body swelled, and the red light shined brightly. A shadow appeared beside Wang Lin. This shadow quickly condensed, and it was Wang Lin's fourth essence true body. After the four essence true bodies appeared, Wang Lin's aura was heaven-shaking. His cultivation level was still the same, but as long as he calmed down, his cultivation level would increase greatly. However, this was not the time to be calm. The moment the four essence true bodies appeared, Wang Lin's eyes released a golden light. This golden light contained a shocking suppression force as he looked at the escaping scorpion soul. The scorpion soul let out a scream. It felt that this gaze contained the might of the celestial ancestors' celestial sword. After being swept by this gaze, its soul immediately trembled. Time was of the essence, so Wang Lin didn't hesitate at all. He raised his right hand and a bone blade filled with Yin energy flew out from his right palm. It turned into a 9-foot Yin blade, and as he raised it, the four essence true bodies behind him did the same. 9-foot Yin blades appeared in their right hands and they all chopped down on the scorpion soul with Wang Lin. The green-robed old man stared dumbfoundedly at this and coughed out a mouthful of blood. His eyes were filled with anger and he died. He was angered to death by himself. This child has 4,000 words. The war has begun and it will last for a few days. Chapter 1899. I hate you! Those were the last words the green-robed old man roared before he died. With his eyesight, he naturally saw what had happened. He also saw that Wang Lin had used his gaze of suppression and the Yin blade to cut down the green devil scorpion. This scene was enough to make him, who didn't have much time left in his lifespan, furious. He coughed out a mouthful of blood and died. He had given Wang Lin an endlessly tough body, given Wang Lin a gaze that could suppress the world, given Wang Lin a meridian formed by the hair of the celestial ancestor, given Wang Lin an ancient Yin blade, and given Wang Lin the earth essence. He had helped Wang Lin form 2 true bodies. All of this was given by him. The green-robed old man widened his eyes in anger. His eyes were filled with endless hatred, and even though he was already dead, his hatred continued to spread throughout his body, as if he was about to turn into a malicious spirit. Wang Lin had no time to pay attention to the green-robed old man. He jumped into the air and raised the bone blade in his hand. The 4 essence true bodies behind him released Yin blades and mercilessly chopped down on the green devil scorpion soul that was screaming and trying to escape. The green devil scorpion soul was also filled with indescribable hatred. It hated the green-robed old man. If it weren't for him, how could it have ended up like this? But now that the old man was dead, it had no way to vent its hatred. In this moment of crisis, it couldn't vent its hatred, so it turned into a rage that caused the green devil scorpion to flee. From afar, this scene was quite shocking. The green devil furnace was still collapsing, and the fragments scattered in all directions. The green devil scorpion soul screamed and escaped. Behind it, Wang Lin's white hair fluttered and his eyes contained the majesty of the world. He raised the Yin blade and with a destructive aura, he slashed down with his 4 essence true bodies. It was at this moment that ripples echoed and 3 rays of light closed in. However, the moment they appeared, the 3 of them trembled and looked at this scene with disbelief. The 3 people that arrived were the other 3 people from the Heavenly Bull continent aside from Wang Lin. They were Yunifeng, Yongjia, and the old man Yun. For some unknown reason, the 3 of them had come to this green demon scorpion temple after being separated for over 100 years. Not to mention the arduous journey, it was a smooth journey after entering the scorpion temple. They did not meet any obstructions before arriving at the deepest part of the scorpion temple. However, what awaited them was a soul-shaking blade. Wang Lin! He is actually here. Yunifeng and Yongjia were startled. Isn't he dead? Edge Cloud's pupils shrank and he was filled with shock. The blade swept by and there was a flash of blade light. The scorpion soul's scream reached its peak and its soul trembled violently. It wanted to resist, but what it had to face wasn't Wang Lin's blade, but a total of 5 blades from Wang Lin's essence true body. The first blade howled and the scorpion soul's body twisted. It was about to dodge, but the second blade closed in. The third blade descended from the sky, and the scorpion soul couldn't dodge. It suddenly turned around and spat out a large amount of green fog. The fourth and fifth blade slashed down. A thunderous rumble echoed. The scorpion soul let out a mournful scream as it was cut in half by the 5 blades and split into 6 parts. The 4 parts below were turned into strands of soul energy by Wang Lin and went into Wang Lin's orifices. Wang Lin was surrounded by clouds, making him look like a celestial. The 2 halves of Xia let out miserable screams and quickly fled, disappearing from the scorpion building. No one knew where they went. The surroundings gradually became quiet. Only the breathing of Yunifeng's group of 3 was exceptionally clear in the depths of the scorpion temple. Wang Lin stood in the air, and the soul fog around him quickly shrank into 7 strands of soul energy that entered Wang Lin's orifices. His expression was calm and his right hand was still holding the Yin blade. There were still 4 essence true bodies standing behind him, and his gaze swept past Yunifeng's group of 3. Leave. He didn't say much, only this one sentence. However, as he spoke, a shocking presence erupted from his body. When his gaze swept past Yunifeng, Yunifeng's heart trembled. It was as if his entire body had been seen through by Wang Lin. He could no longer hide anything, and he felt as if he was being suppressed by the world. Fortunately, this feeling disappeared as soon as it appeared. Otherwise, if this continued for too long, he wouldn't even be able to speak while trembling. The same feeling filled Tang Jia's heart. Her face was pale as she stared at Wang Lin. She couldn't believe that after more than 100 years, Wang Lin's gaze was so terrifying. That gaze gave off a sharp force that seemed to be able to tear the world apart. It could suppress everything it swept by, and it would cause everything it swept by to collapse. Compared to the 2 of them, Edge Cloud's feeling was even stronger. He had fought against Wang Lin, and Wang Lin wasn't polite at all. As his gaze swept past him, Edge Cloud's body trembled and it felt like thunder had rumbled in his heart. He subconsciously took 3 steps back and his face turned pale. Sweat covered his forehead and rumbled in his ears. He felt like he had been abandoned by the world and was the only one left. He felt like he was being suppressed by the sky. In fact, he could even sense that the sky suppressing him was the manifestation of Meng Hao's gaze. Meng Hao's gaze seemed to contain a sword that had yet to fully appear. Once it did, Meng Hao would be ripped to shreds by that gaze. This feeling was so strong that it almost made him go crazy. Just as he felt like he couldn't bear it any longer, Wang Lin's word leave was like the law of the heavens. This caused Edge Cloud to desperately retreat until he was tens of thousands of feet away. Only then did he recover. However, his entire body was soaked in sweat, and the sweat stuck to his body, making him feel cold. Yunifeng and Tang Jia also retreated. Their minds were only shaken, but they weren't suppressed by Wang Lin's gaze. Although they retreated, they weren't in a sorry state like Edge Cloud. However, Yunifeng's heart was extremely bitter. He didn't expect that after more than 100 years, he would see Wang Lin again, and it would be like this. The 3 of them silently retreated, but they didn't leave the Scorpion Temple. Instead, they stopped far away from Wang Lin. They still hadn't completed their mission, and the Scorpion Temple hadn't been completely destroyed. However, Wang Lin's existence made it so they didn't dare to act rashly. Tang Jia looked into the distance, and her eyes were still filled with disbelief. She silently pondered and her mind was in chaos. Putting aside the 3 of them, Wang Lin stood in the air and his gaze finally fell on the green-robed old man who had died. Looking at the green-robed old man, Wang Lin's expression was calm. This person had helped him a lot, but all of this had been to trap him. No matter how great of a fortune Wang Lin received, Wang Lin wouldn't feel the slightest bit of gratitude. Just as he was about to withdraw his gaze, Wang Lin suddenly exclaimed and carefully looked again. Under his gaze, he gradually saw strands of black gas come out from the green-robed old man's corpse. The black gas gathered above his head and slowly turned into a palm-sized black fog. This fog contained monstrous hatred and extreme coldness, causing the surroundings to become very cold. This is... Wang Lin's heart trembled and his divine sense spread out toward the black fog. The moment his divine sense touched the black fog, a hoarse and ferocious roar echoed in his mind. "I hate. I'm very much." This voice was so mournful that even Wang Lin's mind trembled and his eyes shined brightly. Ghost. After this person died, such a powerful ghost soul appeared. The quality of this ghost soul was several times stronger than the one Wang Lin had obtained from killing the void turbulent cultivator on the extreme sky prairie. It was at the peak of high quality and infinitely close to a peerless quality soul. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he waved his right sleeve without hesitation. The green-robed old man's ghost soul turned into a cloud of fog and flew toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin put it away. With this soul and the one Wang Lin had obtained from the extreme sky prairie, he was confident he could create an almost peerless quality ghost sail. A ghost sail like this, combined with the great soul sex formation flag in Wang Lin's hand, would be able to create a near-peerless quality illusion spell. This green-robed old man had not only given Wang Lin many fortunes, he had even given himself to Wang Lin. After putting away the ghost soul, Wang Lin's expression became a bit strange. He felt a bit complicated toward the green-robed old man. He looked at the body hidden under the green robe and let out a sigh. With a wave of his sleeve, the old man's corpse immediately turned into dust and disappeared. Only the green robe on the ground was left motionless. Grabbing the green robe, Wang Lin's divine sense scanned it. This thing was very strange. His divine sense couldn't penetrate it, much less get inside. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin put away the only thing the old man had left, the green robe. As a result, the green-robed old man had completely given everything to Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. His cultivation level was showing signs of increasing. He took a deep breath and his eyes revealed a hint of excitement. Let's see how far I can increase my cultivation level this time. My previous cultivation level was still too weak. I hope this time I can stand at the peak of the immortal astral continent. There is also the Devil Dao sect. I swore that I will never forget that oath for more than 100 years. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with killing intent. He closed his eyes and saw the familiar heads flying around him. Every single head belonged to someone he had seen on the extreme sky prairie. Chapter 1900. Sitting there, Wang Lin was surrounded by the four essence true bodies, guarding him. With the four essence true bodies here, Wang Lin could calm his heart and make his cultivation level increase greatly inside the Scorpion Temple. Before, his cultivation level had reached the peak of Spirit Void and 8 essences were complete. One of them had even become an essence true body. Now it was as if the world had been turned upside down. Not only did Wang Lin have 3 essence true bodies, he had also obtained the 9th essence. This 9th essence was extremely important. It was the key to increasing Wang Lin's cultivation level. He had 9 essences: life and death, karma, true and false, restriction, slaughter, thunder, fire, water, and earth. Break through to arcane void. Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly and he took a deep breath. Essence energy came from the 4 essence true bodies and entered Wang Lin's body. The 9 essences rotated faster and faster as he charged toward the arcane void realm. Spirit void and arcane void were only one word apart, but the difference between the two was huge. Arcane void cultivators needed to comprehend the heavens and earth, and they needed to have at least one ethereal essence. Once one reached the arcane void realm, they would become a powerful cultivator. Even on the immortal astral continent, aside from the 9 sects and the Sure Sand sect, the arcane void earth cultivator was powerful enough. Most importantly, once one reached the arcane void realm, they could use some mysterious spells. Although they were not very useful to Wang Lin, reaching the arcane void realm would allow his cultivation level to take a big step forward. The 9 essences in his body rotated rapidly and Wang Lin's peak spirit void aura increased greatly. This increase was extremely terrifying, and in the blink of an eye, an illusion of the world appeared above Wang Lin. It was a vortex of clouds that rotated rapidly, as if it was maintaining the same speed as the 9 essences in Wang Lin's body. As the vortex rotated like crazy, Wang Lin's origin soul seemed to go through a metamorphosis and gave off a dazzling light. Although this light was inside Wang Lin's body, it penetrated through his skin. The current Wang Lin seemed to be transparent and gave off an unspeakable sense of majesty. At this moment, his cultivation level broke through from the peak of spirit void to the early stage of arcane void. The moment he entered the early stage of arcane void, the world in Wang Lin's eyes changed. Many things that were blurry before became clear. He opened his eyes and looked around. His gaze was filled with wisdom. Arcane void is just a transition for me. My goal is to step into void turbulent. Wang Lin muttered. Just as he had said, arcane void was just a process. The fortune he had obtained was the green furnace's origin energy. Once his origin soul absorbed that power, his cultivation level would increase greatly. Most importantly, Wang Lin had 9 essences. What he needed to do now was to fuse them into one. If he could do this, he would be able to face the 9 arcane tribulants. Once he passed the arcane tribulants, Wang Lin would become a void tribulant exalt. His eyes were filled with decisiveness. He had waited a long time for this cultivation fortune, and he wouldn't let it go. At this moment, Wang Lin took a deep breath without hesitation. His hands formed a seal and he pointed forward. 9 great essences fuse into one. As he pointed his finger, the surrounding fire essence true body, earth essence true body, and water essence true body trembled at the same time and emitted a large amount of origin aura from the top of their heads. These 3 essence auras rotated before Wang Lin. From a distance, one could see flames, earth, and water ripples. These 3 are part of the 5 elements. Once they fuse into one, it will be my opportunity to reach the mid-stage of arcane void. Especially since they've all reached the level of an origin true body. After they combine into one, the true body's power will be even greater. Wang Lin's eyes revealed a strange light. His hands formed a seal and the 3 essence auras rotated once more. Flames spread, water vapor spread, and the earth trembled. These 3 5-element essences continued to rotate and collided with each other. This collision caused the world to rumble, but the 3 essences didn't fuse, they scattered. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he bit the tip of his tongue to spit out a mouthful of blood. Using the blood as a glue, he controlled the 3 essences to fuse into one. Water and fire are supposed to counter each other, but I'll use the earth essence as a medium. Earth can submerge water, but earth can also submerge fire. I also have a mouthful of pure origin soul blood that contains my will. I don't believe these 3 5-element essences can't fuse. Wang Lin let out a roar as his hands rapidly formed seals and pushed forward. The 3 vortexes in front of him let out loud rumbling sounds, and illusory images appeared within them. Sometimes there was a monstrous flood, and sometimes there was a burning sea of fire. However, regardless of whether it was water or fire, they would be covered by sand that swept up the world as they alternated with each other. As time passed, the images inside the 3 essence vortexes flickered faster and faster. Several months later, Wang Lin coughed out 7 mouthfuls of blood, and the 3 essence vortexes showed signs of fusing together. As they did so, Wang Lin focused and controlled the three essences to collide with each other thousands of times. Another 7 days passed, and an earth-shattering rumble rang out. The three essences suddenly fused together, and as the illusionary images flickered, the sand, the flood, and the sea of fire seemed to overlap to form a complete image. Inside the image, the earth was at the center, and above it was a burning sea of fire, and below it was a roaring flood. With the earth as the center, the three essence true bodies before Wang Lin trembled. Their essence auras fused together to form a new body. This was the gathering of the three essence true bodies. This reborn essence true body contained the thunder, fire, and earth essences. This new essence true body was like an independent entity, and it could no longer be called an essence true body. It was more like a five-elemental avatar. The moment the body formed by the fusion of the three essences appeared, Wang Lin's origin soul began to circulate like crazy and absorbed the origin energy accumulated in his body. His early stage arcane void aura suddenly increased explosively, climbed like crazy toward the mid-stage of arcane void. This process lasted for a month before Wang Lin let out a roar. His cultivation was no longer at the early stage of arcane void, but at the mid-stage of arcane void. Since ancient times, no one had been able to reach the mid-stage of arcane void from the early stage of arcane void in just a few months. If news of this spread, Wang Lin would definitely be the center of attention. However, this was only the beginning for him, and it was far from the end. The slaughter essence and restriction essence are both special essences. These special essences are very difficult to fuse, but I can use the thunder essence as a guide and turn the thunder essence into threads to temporarily fuse these two special essences together. That way, my cultivation will rise once more to the late stage of arcane void. Especially since the thunder origin already has a true body, it's powerful enough to surpass these two special origins. As such, it's possible to achieve this. As Wang Lin muttered, his eyes lit up. Countless blood-colored threads appeared in his pupils and turned into the restriction essence. At the same time, a monstrous slaughter aura erupted from his body. This caused the coldness in the surroundings to become intense, and the slaughter essence roared. As these two special essences rotated before him, Wang Lin raised his right hand and pointed at the thunder essence true body sitting next to him. The thunder essence true body suddenly opened its eyes, and they were filled with lightning. In a flash, it turned into a bolt of lightning and charged toward the slaughter and restriction essences. The two essences intersected like threads connecting the two special essences, and they began to rapidly fuse. This kind of fusion was even more difficult than the five-element essences. 1 month later, Wang Lin had tried several times, but he hadn't succeeded. The slaughter essence was extremely domineering, and the restriction essence was like a natural counter to thunder. It was very difficult for them to fuse together. Wang Lin's eyes were bloodshot as he stared at the three essences before him and frowned. If he found the right opportunity, he could quickly fuse them together. However, if the opportunity wasn't right, then no matter how many times he tried, it would be impossible. It's a pity I only have 2 special essences. If I had one more, perhaps it would be easier. But I can't wait any longer. Since I can't fuse these special essences, then I'll have to change my method. I'll gather all of them into the Thunder Essence True Body. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he changed his method. He no longer used the Thunder Essence as a support, but instead used it as the main body to absorb the 2 special essences. As Wang Lin's hands formed seals, he coughed out several mouthfuls of essence blood that surrounded the Thunder Essence True Body. The True Body absorbed the blood that contained Wang Lin's will, and thunder roared from its body. It spread its arms and turned into 2 bolts of lightning that shot toward the slaughter and restriction essences. Use the thunder body to fuse with slaughter. Use the thunder body to fuse with restrictive spells. If he succeeded, the Thunder Essence True Body would advance by leaps and bounds. It now contained 3 essences, and even the thunder itself would change. However, such a thing had never happened before. Wang Lin didn't know what would happen, nor did he know what would happen to the thunder, but right now, he had to do it. Time flashed by. Several months later, Wang Lin's thunder essence true body exploded with shocking power. It had successfully fused with the slaughter essences and restrictive spells. Rumbling sounds could be heard as the thunder essence true body underwent a shocking transformation that left Wang Lin completely stunned. Please vote to help Wang Lin make his breakthrough. Chapter 1901. Thunder was the might of the heavens. There was no one else, it was the only one. Thunder was the might of the heavens, and it would occasionally fall on the mortal world. It would create a heaven-shaking rumble that was like the wrath of the heavens. Wang Lin's thunder essence came from half an ancient thunder dragon. The ancient thunder dragon exercised the power of thunder for the world and was the embodiment of thunder in the world. With this half an ancient thunder dragon as the foundation, Wang Lin's essence sprouted. After absorbing the eternal thunder of the Scatter Thunder clan, his essence was only one step away from completion. This step was not easy to take, but Wang Lin opened a new path. He used his own accompanying thunder, and even the soul of the Thunder Frog and his own G-Realm thunder. At that moment, his thunder essence was infinitely close to completion. Then on the immortal astral continent, more than 100 years ago in the Scorpion Temple, the Devil Dao Sect's sect master, who had a different thunder essence, spared no expense to fuse the power of thunder into Wang Lin's body. He even planted 2 Thunder Emperor beads. Then, on the immortal astral continent, more than 100 years ago, the Devil Dao Sect's sect master, who had a different thunder essence, did everything he could to fuse the power of thunder into Wang Lin's body. He even planted 2 Thunder Emperor beads. This kind of accumulation caused the thunder essence in Wang Lin's body to undergo a heaven-shaking change. It formed an essence true body and became the thunder essence true body. Even Wang Lin didn't expect his unintentional action to cause this thunder essence true body to undergo a heaven-shaking change. Slaughter origin was a kind of special origin. The power of this origin was formless. It was formed from endless slaughter, and it wasn't a random slaughter. Instead, it was a special origin that could only manifest its might after completing a monstrous slaughter with some kind of belief. This slaughter essence contained an indescribable killing intent. This killing intent was enough to change the operation of the world. It was far more powerful than ordinary essences and was extremely powerful. In the past, Shimizu's slaughter origin was able to fight against someone with a higher cultivation base. Wang Lin didn't use this slaughter essence much. Most of the time, it was used to support his aura. However, the moment it merged with his thunder essence true body, it suddenly changed. Wang Lin wasn't the only one who couldn't have imagined such a transformation. Something like this had rarely happened in the countless years that had passed. Thunder and slaughter merged together, forming slaughter thunder. This thunder was above the 9 heavens and could destroy all living things. Most importantly, this slaughter thunder had a mission. From the moment it appeared to the moment it ended, this lifetime was the process of completing its mission. In the ancient legends, there was a rumor that when the heavens were enraged, they would use lightning to destroy the world. According to the legends, the earliest form of lightning was to punish and destroy all living things. Only when the world was destroyed would such killing lightning appear. After Wang Lin's thunder essence true body fused with the slaughter essence, because the slaughter essence needed to have a belief in slaughter, the fusion changed this thunder. This caused a thunder that shouldn't have appeared, or rather, shouldn't be controlled by a cultivator, the heaven's wrath slaughter thunder. Wang Lin stared blankly at the thunder essence true body before him. There wasn't a trace of thunder around this true body, but with his divine sense, he could clearly feel the terrifying power of thunder slowly circulating inside and outside this true body. This bolt of thunder had the power to make Wang Lin's scalp tingle. Once it left the true body and spread out, its power would be enough to destroy the world. Wang Lin swallowed a mouthful of saliva and sucked in a breath of cold air. He vaguely guessed that this inadvertent action of his had created a terrifying bolt of thunder. Once this thunder spread out, even his body would be destroyed. This feeling was extremely strong, so strong that Wang Lin had the urge to immediately stop the fusion. He felt his heart palpitate, as if this thunder shouldn't have appeared in this world. Or rather, it was far from time for it to appear. The thunder surrounded the true body and slowly rotated, creating soft popping sounds. This sound was especially clear in the silent Scorpion Temple, and it caused Wang Lin's pupils to shrink. It seemed like the thunder was showing signs of instability during the fusion. A sliver of aura spread out from the Scorpion Temple and shrouded the entire Green Devil continent. All the creatures in the Green Devil continent trembled and felt like they were going to be destroyed. However, the moment this sliver of aura spread out from the Green Devil continent, it disappeared. All of this happened in an instant, and it was unimaginably fast. It didn't attract the attention of any Grand Empyreans. Once this thunder explodes, the Green Devil continent. Wang Lin rarely felt fear, but this time, he was terrified by the thunder he had personally created. Just as the slaughter thunder became unstable, Wang Lin's thunder essence true body began to fuse with the restriction essence. The restriction essence was law and law. As it fused, it seemed to form a large net that shrouded the thunder essence true body. Thunder had law and law, but these law and law were given by the world. However, because the thunder essence true body contained Wang Lin's will and the restriction essence, Wang Lin's thunder essence true body was no longer shrouded by the world and completely changed. The result of this change was that the thunder essence true body contained the law and law of Wang Lin. It seemed to neutralize the slaughter thunder and perfectly restrict it inside the true body. The signs of instability also slowly eased. During this short period of time, Wang Lin's forehead was covered in sweat. He looked at the essence true body before him and felt like he was dreaming. The appearance of the essence true body didn't change at all. It calmly stood there, but from Wang Lin's point of view, it was like the world had turned upside down and was very different. This true body didn't have any traces of thunder. Inside and outside the true body, there were layers of fused restriction essence wrapping around the world, destroying slaughter thunder in the deepest part of this true body. Perhaps it's not destroying a continent. Wang Lin stared at his essence true body and silently pondered. As he silently pondered, his mid-stage arcane void cultivation began to activate on its own. It formed a storm around his body and turned into a rapidly rotating vortex. Every time it rotated, Wang Lin's aura would increase greatly. Not only would it absorb the surrounding origin energy, but it would also absorb the power that belonged to the Green Devil Scorpion that had accumulated in his body. With this power as nourishment, Wang Lin's white hair fluttered like a gust of wind. Thunderous rumbles came from his body and his eyes shined brightly. His cultivation continued to increase until it reached the peak. Thunderous rumbles echoed in his mind. His cultivation suddenly broke through the mid-stage of arcane void and entered the late stage of arcane void. Late stage arcane void. The contemplation in Wang Lin's eyes disappeared at this moment and was replaced with determination. The appearance of the slaughter thunder was beyond his imagination. He vaguely felt his heart skip a beat when the slaughter thunder appeared. A small part of this fear came from the thunder itself, but most of it came from the changes that occurred because of the thunder. No one could sense this change, not even Grand Empyreans. Only Wang Lin could sense it. This thunder was created by him, so the thunder essence contained his will and law. Wang Lin no longer thought about this. When his cultivation reached the late stage of arcane void, he looked at the last three ethereal essences. Life and death, karma, true and false. Once these 3 ethereal essences fused into one, Wang Lin's 9 essences would become 3. His cultivation level would increase greatly, and he would go from late-stage arcane void to peak arcane void, to experience the 9 arcane tribulants. Once he broke through the 9 arcane tribulants, he would step into the ranks of Grand Empyreans and become a void tribulant earth cultivator. With his combat power, if he reached the early stage of void tribulant, he would be able to battle peak void tribulant cultivators. He could even become the number 1 person under Grand Empyreans. To be more accurate, he would become half a Grand Empyrean. This kind of cultivation level and strength would allow him to go anywhere on the immortal astral continent, and no one would be able to scheme against him, because he, Wang Lin, would be the 10th strongest person on the immortal astral continent. While Wang Lin was in the Green Devil continent's Scorpion Temple, his 9 essences had fused into 2, and he was looking at the remaining 3 ethereal essences, outside the Green Devil continent, outside the Eastern continent, outside the Celestial clan, outside the immortal astral continent. If the immortal astral continent was the sky, then there was a void like the starry sky. In this void, far away from the immortal astral continent, there was a void continent. This continent couldn't compare to the immortal astral continent. It was less than 10% the size of the immortal astral continent. There was no trace of life on this continent. It was completely dead. In this dead silence, one could see the ruins of death everywhere. It was as if many years ago, there was a large amount of life here, but they all died in one calamity. In the center of this continent there was an extremely majestic ruined city. Within it there was a huge statue of a woman. However, at this moment, half of the statue had collapsed and only half of the body remained. On top of it, there was a middle-aged man sitting cross-legged. The man's appearance was ordinary, but he had a shocking head of long hair. His long hair was almost 100 feet long, and it hung down along the half-collapsed statue. Just as Wang Lin's Thunder Essence true body fused with the Slaughter Essence to create the Slaughter Thunder, the middle-aged man seemed to wake up from countless years of slumber and slowly opened his eyes. There were no pupils in his eyes, only a deathly stillness and emptiness. He raised his head and looked into the distance. There was a flash of light in his eyes. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.